7 o'clock in St. Louis. You are listening to The Morning After. It is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios. We're on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you. Little Jackie Papers on the ones and twos. And Chairman Kurt's chair is empty. Do we need to send him an APB, Jackson?
I think he's gone. Was he going out of town?
He's off today. Yeah.
Oh,
That was done, yeah. He's off today.
Papers just turned his back. Anything else? We're good. He's not here today.
Trying to get my ducks in a row.
Okay. Get your ducks in a row, buddy.
If you don't have a text inbox name, Jackson is flustered, so this would be a good day to hammer him with, I need an updated text inbox. And Sharon Clayton was ready, right? Boy, Doug, they wait for us, and right at 7 o'clock, they start sending in the text. 314-399-9646. If you don't have a text inbox name saved, say, hey, Jackson, I know you're trying to get your ducks in a row right now, but why? Would you like giving me a text inbox name right here? And then you can give your suggestion, and Jackson puts it in there, and the next thing you know, you are a friend of the show.
Oh, okay.
If somebody calls in, Jackson, I guess you're filtering them? 314-974-0101, Collier and Thompson phone lines. And, of course, you can open up your YouTube app, type in TMASTL, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch the program, and you can participate in our Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. And then, of course, we have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, where you can email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Doug, we have a request from the amateur proctologist to break down last night's NIT championship game. That's going to be all of the 9 o'clock hour.
I would think.
Can you push it to 10?
Yeah, for onboarding.
If you don't mind, if you guys want to tackle that solo.
The War Damn Eagle. But I'm really curious here on this Sadie Hawkins for the TMA lead for Monday, April 6th, 2026. Martin, here are your choices for Doug. You've got the Blues just 3 points back, and if they can just get hot, they can
win this baby.
Win a baby.
Yeah.
The Cardinals beat the Tigers last night as Detroit paid, how much do you say homage?
I say homage.
To the 2006 Tigers with an E1 on a bunt. ILL goes down to UConn in the Final Four. City in extra time with the equalizer. And, of course, what Jackson says should be the lead. I personally I didn't know what was going on this week. The Dogwoods and the Azaleas of Augusta, Georgia are in bloom. Yeah. And look at this. Here comes Rory McIlroy sporting his green jacket for the Champions Dinner just 34 hours away.
Doug cameras are welcome on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
How about the other days?
No.
No, you'll be arrested.
So with that all established, I don't know what direction you want to go with this lead.
I think the lead is the thing that makes me know that I'm not going to be much good to you, and that's the happiness and yet the frustration of the St. Louis Blues being just 3 points out, yet still facing a steep uphill battle. And I think back of all those points they left on the table, the 4-0 leads they blew twice, the overtime, the shootouts that they didn't have much luck with. I think it's a shame now looking back that they couldn't just squeeze a couple more points along the way, or they'd be right there.
The Blues winning last night 3-2. They won on Friday in Anaheim 6-2. And so as we take a gander at the NHL standings here, with just a handful of games remaining for the Blues, they will have a home and home. Is it home and home? And if you had day off in between, do you call it that?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough. They sit 3 points back of a playoff spot as Robert Thomas, friend of the program, has gone on a heater spurred, I believe, by pure anger at the trade deadline, and he gets the hat trick last night in Denver. Hello again, everybody.
And the Blues have got the tiebreaker on all these other teams with their 29 regulation wins.
5% money puck, Doug.
Well, it's gone up quite a bit. So they got 6 to play,
5.5%.
12 more points out there. They could still wind up with 90 points. That would probably get them in. If they win the rest of them,
all 6.
I think that would probably get them. And it might be what it takes. Probably going to be what it takes.
But that Sharks game last week, just don't give up that goal. Because even if you just get that one more point right now, maybe even 2, win that baby in overtime. But that was a killer. Then you lose to the Kings in overtime, gave them an extra point. The two teams right in front of you right now, Kings, Sharks. However, those are three teams, Doug. Blues, Kings, Sharks, all looking for the spot currently held by Nashville.
The Predators.
So it's a little crowded.
Yeah.
They'll be 5 points back after tonight. That's from the Oakville Lawnmonger in the Air Comfort Service text inbox.
Well, they could be.
They aren't making the playoffs. Guaranteed to be 5 back after tonight. All they're doing is screwing themselves to the draft. It's actually terrible, Doug. That's Harrison's brother master.
Well, you can't tell the players, could you please go out and lose so we can get a better draft pick? And this draft pick might take your job someday. Please don't play very well.
Thomas is padding his stats before he gets traded. It's actually a smart move. That's from Boozy. Doesn't sound like the audience.
Wow, padding his stats.
Wouldn't you always try to pad your stats?
He was waiting to do that, you think, Doug?
I think I'll score some goals here to make more money. That thought just occurred to him?
So in his 16 games since he returned, the beginning of March, Thomas has been out for a while. In those 16 games since he came back, 23 points. 10 goals, 13 assists. 23 points in 16 games. I think that's the most interesting story for the Blues. What happens there? There was clearly tension at the deadline. He said he wasn't approached, but the fact that they were willing to talk to other teams clearly did tick him off. Doesn't matter. End result is he's playing great. Now what? Do you look at that line, Snuggerud, Holloway, and Thomas, and say, I can't break that up if I'm going to be competitive next year and I'm going to try and win? If they thought, well, we'll still revisit the trade options this summer, does this have them changing that course of action? I mean, the number one centers are hard to find. Then people text in, he's not a number one center. Okay, all right. I think that discussion is fascinating. Yeah. What do the Blues do with Thomas?
I say you keep him. You make him the captain. You make him happy, and you keep him.
What if he's happy and then he doesn't play well? You got to find a different way. Yeah. Then Jackson has to call him every game day at 6:30 to piss him off.
Since the Olympic break, the Blues are 13-3-3.
Chalice.
Yeah, where's that been all year? How can they turn it on and off like that?
There was a health issue that should be noted, but the start of the season was garbage. Let's see. Why is Doug taking shots at the NBA saying you can't tell the players to tank? That's from Just Don't Press Push.
Yeah, it seems like a little more of that goes on in the NBA. I don't think
Jackson, would you like to defend the association?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I can't do it. I did watch Cooper Flagg yesterday. They had him on NBC. Did you see that? Holy smokes. He's got 96 or 98 points in the last 2 games.
It's finally happened. Papers have been grooming us on the NBA for a while, and now Doug, being a loyal 5 Fox guy, tuned in.
Yeah, Martin, he did the same thing last year, then showed up out of shape to camp for the 5th year in a row. It's from Harrison's brother Master.
Gosh.
Harrison's brother Master's loaded for Bear
He
today.
really is.
So he wants Kyrou gone, straight to the sun. What's Thomas gone?
So now that it looks like they have figured something out, that they have got it going, now you want to break it up?
Harrison's brother Master, would you like to break it up? 314-974-0101. That's how you can call in to the program and talk it over.
It just seems like you subtracted a couple of grizzled veterans, replaced them with young guys, and now they've clearly got something that's clicking. I think they would probably pretty much hang with this group.
But again, what was interesting last week when Vitale was saying, all right, here we go. San Jose is kind of like a playoff game. Now the pressure's up. Let's see how they handle that after everything was kind of laid back. Don't worry about it. And then they lose. So by Friday night in Anaheim, Chris Pronger hanging out with Jon Hamm, friends of the show, just palling around at the old game.
Great to have our friends of the show hanging out in SoCal.
All the pressure's off, and then they blow out the Ducks. Pressure's still off. They beat Colorado. Is there something to that?
Could be.
So now, Doug, let's say it again. Okay, now you have to win. Okay, now the pressure's back up tomorrow night at home against Colorado.
Yeah.
Treat that like a playoff game, and let's see what happens.
Because the Sharks and Predators are playing tonight, Doug, you've got a situation in the Predators sit with 81, the Sharks sit with 79, the Blues sit with 78, and so you got yourself a little situation there because inevitably the NHL is going to award at least 2 points to one of those teams. And so, excuse me, the Predators and the Kings are playing tonight. Sharks are playing the Blackhawks. and only minus 170. The Tam Avenue Capital Partners are investigating that closely.
Are you?
And we might release a Biff-like play in which we're going to lay heavy money line odds as the Sharks will look to bounce back after their winning streak was snapped. So the point being, because these teams are playing each other or have a game in hand, that the math, even at 5.5% for the Blues, which of course would be, is that 1 in 19.75? Is that 1 in 19.75?
I guess.
That it is still very remote for the Blues to find themselves in the Stanley Cup playoffs, where they would play the team that they beat last night, courtesy of the Robert Thomas hat trick and Joel Hofer playing defenseman for a little bit there as he lost a blade and was hanging out outside the net for a bit with the assistance of Colorado, who just pushed him out there.
But after tonight, the Blues will have a game in hand on those Preds and those Kings. A precious game in hand. Well,
Harrison, dude, you need to have some activities in your life besides obsessive-compulsive blues stat disorder and that escort Sharon? That's from the Warson Woods wacko who's deciding to take on a two-front war against either you call it the Alliance or the axis of evil that is Harrison's brother Master and Sharon and Clayton.
he called her an escort. I don't think that's fair.
No, I don't know. I don't know if that'll lead to litigation or not.
Is there a thing called obsessive-compulsive blues stat disorder? Has it been diagnosed before?
Phoenix, Arizona puts the heat up on you.
Yeah.
I think all of us know that it's extremely remote that they still get in.
For sure.
But it's been fun seeing them make this push at the end. We could give them credit for that. Would have been pretty easy to lose interest a month ago, but they have done the opposite and really turned it on.
They've done it 4 years in a row, Doug. That's from Harrison's brother Master.
Okay.
And he is really... I mean, he is packing a lunch today.
Well, you could just stop being a fan of the team, and if it'd make you feel better, just stop watching games, stop caring, and then you'll feel a little bit better.
I'm most disappointed that Papers is so busy getting his ducks in a row that we couldn't even hear a little Ray Liotta. I'm sorry, but I felt Harrison was just begging for it. And Papers is just so busy.
There's so much show left that I feel like he can still earn it.
What are you wrapped up in?
Yeah, what's going on?
Working.
Okay.
Was this a late arrival today?
No, I was here promptly.
No Kurt changes your rule.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit, but...
You want me to
What does
answer the
he
phones?
do that you can't do?
What does he do that I cannot do?
Tim, should he repeat the question?
What does he do that you had to do today that makes you have to get your ducks in a row that you're...
Mostly just show notes in the podcast.
Okay.
And then I
What
guess
percentage of the audience uses the show notes, Doug?
Probably half of 1%.
I'll take the way over on that. Yeah, it's like if you are listening to something you want to listen to, specifically, it's like, let's say you want to hear our takes on the Final Four, then like 7-2, I see that they talk about the Final Four, so I'll skip to that. Or I might do this one instead of that one. And it helps for historical purposes to go back on what we have done previously.
see.
Do you want me to keep the show notes for you? Would that
No,
help?
sir. That's
Okay.
not if you're going to handwrite them.
Because they're illegible.
Yeah. You need 3 handwriting experts to figure out who did what was being
They
said.
come back with just serial killer.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do these show notes before we've even done the show?
It's a great question.
I don't do them before. I do them as we do them.
But you're typing busily over there as we discuss certain...
Yeah, I mean, I get the gist of it.
Okay.
I've been doing this for a while now.
Oh, have you really?
Oh.
Snarky.
No, I just saying this isn't my first rodeo.
Dunked on him. Just
This isn't my first rodeo.
Spotify AI notes are better. It's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle.
It's likely a transcript, which, in all honesty, I cannot transcribe the show as we go. I'm not a stenographer. So if that's how you do it, God bless, because you can search in those, and that's actually really helpful for me, too. So you're not going to catch me being offended by that.
That's really quite an art to have, a stenography.
Unbelievable.
How they sit there and just with symbols and everything, they can write out everything. They still do it that way? They can't possibly still be doing that way. Are they in court?
I don't get to the court of law as often as I'd like.
You'd like?
No.
You know.
Nice.
But I imagine, yeah, for legal purposes, you kind of have to.
Why wouldn't you just record it?
It would make more sense.
I bet they do that now.
Should we dedicate the show to all the stenographers out there
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's
working,
a bad idea.
working their
Call in,
ass
Big
off?
Steno.
Yeah, stenographers call in 314-974-0101. You can also text in at 314-399-9646. And then you can join the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat where 179 friends are already in there this morning and talking it over. That's the Devil's Crotch, Scorsese, Not Maine, and the Overbearing Sports Dad, who I believe is in a war with Carlos Spicy Wiener. But it's really tough to track all of these TMA wars that are raging on the battlefront. You can also email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air, the longest running sponsor on TMA. And it is indeed Masters Week, which is the sign that the weather will warm up, although it's already been pretty warm around here for the last few weeks. Design Air's online at designairservice.com to get your air conditioning tuned up. The sponsor of the email of the day, Martin's a client, Doug's a client, I'm a client, and I just had him over to the house last month. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. The morning after at InsideSTL.com is how you can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. It's 7:16 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, officially licensed Rolex jeweler. This is the morning after, presented by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. Healthcare Evolution, 7 o'clock hour. ILL.
Dustin May.
Miles Michaelis. DFA, Doug.
You know,
Who could have seen that coming?
well, he had a nice run. We had a run, I guess. He had one fantastic year with the Cardinals.
Is that 2018?
Yeah, 18-4, All-Star.
Got the game one start of the memorable NLCS with the Nationals. But it was supposed to be a best of 7, but baseball saw what was going on and said, you guys can just wrap it up after these 3.
Shut her down.
It is TMA. The show is presented by Brown and Crouppen, and we are in the Healthcare Evolution 7 o'clock hour here on the program. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne, Jackson Burkett with you on the show. And if you want to call in, Chairman Kurt's vacationing in Jackson's parents' place in the Hamptons today. So Jackson will answer the phone call. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay, fair enough. 314-974-0101. That is how you can call into the program. You can also text in at 314-399-9646. The Air Comfort Service text inbox. Just open up your YouTube app. I mean, that's really your podcast source. You can watch the program. You can go back and watch the program. You can talk it over with other TMA listeners. That's right there, and that's brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Doug, ILL gets to the Final Four, but UConn shoots. Illinois doesn't, and that ends it. ILL losing to the Huskies. Danny Hurley's back in the Final Four for the third time in 4 years, taking on Michigan tonight.
Interviewed him right after the game. The crowd started booing there in the dome. Did you hear that?
Yep.
And he didn't know what they were booing about.
Yeah, we'll take a listen. Here it is.
How about this freshman over here, the poise that he has?
I mean, the start to the game and then the finish to the game. I don't know what, are they booing? The headbutt? I don't know what they're booing. But he's amazing, and, he got us here, and then he got us off to a great start, and then the 3 closed it.
They were just booing
Was
him.
it just Illinois fans or just college basketball fans? that can't
Michigan and Arizona getting ready, their fans for
get
the next
off the
game.
court? Well, little did they
Having
know.
a heel is a great thing.
Little did they know there'd be quite the intermission with the chain smokers taking over the court out of
That was a pony.
Out of
That was
nowhere.
a pony.
What happened?
I don't know
Watching
why
basketball.
they do things like that.
Bizarre. Like, I thought the Michigan and Arizona were on the court getting loose. I walked out of the room and I came back and there was a concert going on. I thought I had switched channels.
Doug, Mount Rushmore of chain smokers. Son.
I don't know. I couldn't give any titles.
And they teamed up with Coldplay, did that one song, kind of.
They must feel like they have to keep that huge crowd entertained every second. They got 72,000 in the building. They must think that they couldn't possibly sit still for 30, 35 minutes before the next game starts, so let's give them something.
So they were booing Danny Hurley because they were mad that the concert hadn't started yet.
That could have been.
Bizarre.
That's got to feel terrible. You just won a national semifinal. You're on the floor with your players. And I don't hate Danny Hurley. I've found him, now he can be annoying, but at times I get a kick out of him.
I think there's a method behind the madness in a way.
He's got an unbelievable streak going.
Oh.
I mean, his numbers are incredible. He's got a chance to win 3 out of 4 national titles.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Wooden?
Yeah.
They put that graphic up of like winning percentage in the NCAA tournament, and Hurley's is crazy.
He's 11-0, Sweet 16 and beyond.
It's crazy.
The last
It's insane.
3-4 years.
Recovering alcoholic says we should have lost by more.
He was there.
Yeah.
Jackson, do you agree with that statement?
I just thought Illinois couldn't. I thought they were getting pretty decent looks and just not being able to make them.
Yeah.
And it was obviously a really physical game. That's how both teams like to play. And I didn't think that affected Illinois adversely. But yeah, I just thought it was a case of UConn in the right moments was hitting shots, and Illinois couldn't knock them down.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great effort by both squads.
I kept waiting for him to get on a run. Just get it. Just like
They tried.
Yeah,
They couldn't get it going.
Got it to 4. They just looked sloppy the whole game. Like every time they looked like they were tripping, falling down, throwing the ball. They just didn't look right.
UConn scored 18 more points than Illinois from 3-point range. Mm-hmm. It's hard to win with that kind of disparity. It just didn't look like the same kind of Illinois team we'd seen earlier in the tournament.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to play with a whole lot of confidence. But when the shots aren't falling, it's hard to look like you're confident.
6 of 26 from 3.
Yeah, that's not how they got there for sure.
And Brad Underwood was all over his team and called the timeout early on the offensive rebounds, which is actually part of their offense. And they were getting owned. They responded, went on a run, took the lead. But in the end, the shots just didn't fall all night. And not only did they shoot 23% from 3, they didn't really get it going outside of 3 either. 19 of 56 from the field for ILL. My God, just like I felt like if there was a roll to get, UConn got it. Illinois had a bunch of layup looks and they couldn't convert them.
Yeah.
And that would have been huge for a game that, was tight until at the end UConn was able to pull away.
Yeah, that's every break when UConn's not in like, oh man, we got screwed. Like it's the rub of the green, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you like that term, rub of the green?
I guess I don't mind it.
Here's Brad Underwood, an emotional Brad Underwood, following the loss Saturday night.
I can't hardly talk. It stinks. You want them. Please don't ever judge me for wins and losses. That's not who I am as a coach. Relationships, you want it for them. And it's, yeah, I'll leave it at that. A lot. This is incredible. This is a drug. This is addictive. And I mean that in a way that, it hurt losing in the Elite Eight 2 years ago. This is worse. It's an incredible spot to be in because of the people, and I'm going to speak selfish for a minute. Every one of my stops along the way, everyone from Dodge City to Columbia, South Carolina, every stop. This run has brought people that are important to me back into my life and the relationships that I had. And to see the orange and blue out, I can't thank them enough. And I hope this team created memories that last a lifetime for a lot of people, no matter what age. It did for me. Sorry.
Brad Underwood following the loss to UConn on Saturday night in Indianapolis. Henshinstown, see?
That scene on Friday when they were there for the open practice, there's like 17,000 Illinois fans, and you could see Underwood just kind of nodding, waving, grateful. So everybody could be back except Boswell will be gone, Humrickhouse will be gone, and then old Keaton Wagra, I got to think he is gone. Yeah. But the rest of the itches and vitches will be back. And you got that Quentin Coleman committing the other day.
Yeah. I don't know of another tournament or sporting event where the people are just so shattered when they lose. I mean, it just breaks a man. Grown men in tears minutes after the game. I can't think of any other event where they're like that.
Doug, do you think the proper follow-up after that emotional comment would be, well, at least you don't have to play Michigan on Monday?
Yeah.
Because it does
Are you pretty happy about that, Coach?
Barkley was doing that because Dan Hurley was kind of giving them, poking them about everyone picking Illinois. Mm-hmm. And Barkley goes, I'll give you some more ammunition. I'm picking the winner of this game, the Michigan-Arizona game. He said, I'm taking this game, little man.
Yeah, he called him little man.
Little man.
Is Dan Hurley a tiny gentleman? He played for Seton Hall.
Yeah, he played Seton Hall.
I wouldn't imagine you could be like 5'6" and play for Seton Hall.
I think he's like 6'1" or 2.
I think Barkley thought Illinois would roll UConn, like easily. So probably eat that a little bit. I think coaching related, though, that over the weekend, that Tommy Lloyd re-upped at Arizona.
Yep.
And then Dusty May, Michigan, said, I'm not going anywhere. So that one job that's still sitting there. So if you're a Billiken fan and you're getting paranoid, well, if Michigan opens up, if Arizona opens up, those two are off the table, apparently. And now all that's left, the big dominoes, North Carolina papers. Do you predict?
Yeah, what do you got on that?
Is that going to be Billy Donovan? It just seems all signs point to Billy Donovan.
If you're a SLU fan, you're really hoping it's Billy Donovan.
Well, would they go after shirts at North Carolina? I don't know.
I mean, any vacancy, especially one of that magnitude, you're just going to have to monitor if you're a SLU fan, whether it's...
See, I think it's more about the domino effect of the place where the guy goes. I don't think Josh Schertz is going to North Carolina.
Right.
You think that's possible, Martin?
No, I'm saying
okay. The domino.
the fact that Arizona and Michigan didn't open up, I think those had a chance of reaching out to shirts, and then there would have been mutual interest. Now that those are off the table, I think you're good.
Right.
But
But
saying
then the question is, if Donovan doesn't take it, who gets it? And then that creates that opening.
right, and that's what Jackson is saying, right? That if you get a couple deep and a couple guys turn it
Right,
down,
like if Graham McCaslin takes it from Texas Tech, and now Texas Tech is open, and they obviously have a ton of money that they like to spend on college athletics, then you'd have to be a little bit nervous.
so no matter what, you can't relax.
Right.
I'm surprised that Dusty May has even asked a question, would you take another job? He's got probably the best team in the country right now. He's at a major, close to being a blue blood basketball school in the Big Ten. Where else are you going to go from there? Where do you go from being the number one team in the country? Say, oh, good, I got a better job. Now I got a chance to win the national title. You're about to win it anyway.
Right, especially when he was at Florida Atlantic all of 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Harrison's brother master is.
I got a feeling I have to dust it.
Right.
He's mad about
Of
this.
course, Martin brings up SLU. Hey, Martin, shirts ain't going anywhere. He beats Duquesne every week.
Okay.
He's not UNC material.
Leave us alone.
You want Bucko? You want some? Huh?
See, that's why you wait for it, Martin.
Well, I don't mind
for
you
the Duquesne take.
Yeah, just
I don't mind you playing it a couple of times. I don't think you need to save it.
What type of loser shows up to watch basketball practice? Touch a woman, you losers. Such a B-fib move. That's Beer Cats, who lives in Illinois but is anti-Illinois and was probably delighted to see UConn win based on his text on Friday.
Well, these fans went to Indianapolis for the weekend anyway. What else are you going to do for an hour and a half or so but go and watch them practice? What else are you going to do in Indianapolis that's going to take up all day? Of course they went to see him practice.
Henson was doing a speaking thing, kind of like what Pronger was doing in SoCal.
He was giving a speaking engagement,
Yeah.
Brian Henson was? Okay.
I would have gone to that. SLU played Michigan as well as anyone. That's from Starfish Street.
Yeah, that really was an unfortunate draw for the Billikens to run into that buzzsaw.
I mean, we knew it when we saw it.
Yeah.
Then you see what Michigan's doing. Oof, cats and dogs. Papers, you were on Arizona. I'll tell you what, if there's one thing about this Jackson Burkett, when he loses a bet, you can count on he's going to pay it. You can count on it.
Yeah.
I forget about our bets.
So I forgot about it until the morning.
Hey, no.
after.
I see a Venmo from Jackson Burkett. I'm like, oh, sweet. What did we bet on? And I guess I took Michigan.
Yeah.
And you had Arizona.
Yep. And yeah, that was I didn't think it was going to be a no sweat loss.
No.
But if Michigan can play like that, there's not G League teams that could even compete with them. Oh my God. I mean, Jackson Lundenberg barely played, and they looked just steamrolled a team that has been maybe the most consistent in college basketball all year outside of themselves. Unbelievable.
They haven't had a
that
close game in
performance
the tournament yet.
That performance was
threatened them.
crazy. What they did there, the start of that second half, I was like, all right, this is Arizona's opportunity. Get it under 10, and then we'll have a real ball game. And instead, Michigan went out and shot the lights out.
Cats and dogs. Cats and dogs.
Unreal.
And Mara looked like a huge factor.
Oh, yeah,
He's about 9 feet tall.
Yeah,
Blocks every other shot that goes up there.
But nimble as hell.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, if he catches the ball, it's not like an automatic turnover, which is a lot of the case with those Giants. And it can move up and down the floor easily. It doesn't come out, every 5 seconds because he's tired. They're loaded.
How about this? Marsh's collage program went to Storrs, Connecticut. Is that accurate? Marsh's collage program says, as a Husky alum, we're going to get 3 of 4. Time for a dynasty just like your radio hosting. That's Marsh's collage program. Who knew we had UConn grads in the audience, Doug? They went to Storrs, Connecticut, which apparently is the Starkville of the Northeast. So I guess that means that Marsh's collage program likes UConn getting 7.5 tonight, Papers. 7.5 for the Huskies. What would you do with that? Danny Hurley going to lose by more than 7.5?
I don't see how you could bet against Michigan at this very moment. Like, I get that anything can happen in a 40-minute basketball game, and maybe Michigan comes out and isn't shooting as well, and UConn kind of punched them in the mouth early. I just don't, I don't see how I could, put money down and say, yep, I think UConn can cover that number.
If UConn played Michigan 10 times, Michigan wins. That's the new popular phrase. 9, okay.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like if Illinois and UConn played 10 times,
probably split them.
6 and 4 maybe, yeah.
I think if Michigan and Arizona plays, it's maybe 6'4", 7'3", but
What about Yaxel?
but they're still so good without him.
He says he's playing tonight.
Yeah, I know he's going to play through it, but it's dangerous anytime you're going. I think it's a bone bruise is what he's got at the moment.
Sprained MCL, low-grade sprained MCL.
Okay, yeah. It's playing dangerous. Solo ball also planning on playing tonight, I believe, for UConn, so that'll be an interesting thing to monitor. But Michigan, like just with Morez Johnson Jr. and Eddie Mara, how are you going to stop that? You know, Terrace Reed might get in foul trouble. Who knows?
St. Louis's own Terrace Reed going for a national title.
So Chaminade until his junior year and then Link Academy, right?
I believe that's correct. And he went to Michigan his first 2 years. Now he's
Chaminade's a factory.
It really is.
Wonder if I'd be in the NBA if I would have gone to Chaminade.
Probably.
I think
Seriously?
so. You
Yeah,
so? You
so
wouldn't
it'd
have
been
fought
like
the politics.
It would have
so
been
much.
when everyone mentions like the greats of Chaminade have been McKernan, Lee, Beal, Tatum.
Yeah.
Wow, left out Kachuk. Interesting.
Yeah, the Stasny.
Well, didn't Brady and Matthew like they do the classic hockey thing where they go like to Chaminade just for a little bit and then go play juniors elsewhere?
I know they'd not compete for Chaminade.
Right. Like
Walter, I believe, was saying, I think we can avoid that.
Right. Like whereas Tatum is out there like in the small Chaminade gym.
You saw it firsthand, and you beat it firsthand.
I was on the team.
See? Firsthand.
I was on the team.
Had they just let you play, you just shut him down.
No, it would have been like, what's going on?
Oh, no.
Is the mascot playing?
Going to UConn isn't a brag, Marcia's collage program. It's the dumbest school in the Northeast. That's from Atlantic 10 correspondent and A10 gambling expert Jugs in D.C. Is he a GW guy, Doug?
I don't know.
think he might be a GW guy.
But it's kind of good school.
And they were the revolutionaries until Chuck Todd told them to be the
Chuck
Colonials.
Todd has had enough.
The other way. They were the
backed down.
Colonials, and that was so offensive.
Yeah.
Got it.
The dumbest school in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, there are a lot of Ivy League schools up there.
Gentlemen, don't forget Ben Bishop also went to Chaminade.
Yeah.
There you go, Doug. Vesna. Anyone catch the Fab 5 Altcast Saturday night? I did. That's from Plowboy's Dwelling. You guys see that? Anybody? Nurse
No.
Jackson? Were you
saw-
Tam Ave?
No, I saw that was available, but we just watched the regular broadcast.
You and Herb?
Sweet.
Sweet guy.
What makes this guy so sweet?
He used to be sour and then he sweetened.
How so? What do you do?
He's just a nice guy.
Okay. But he's double sweet. He's not just sweet.
He earned
guy.
the nickname. It's too long a story.
If you like UConn on the money line, you're going to get 2.5 to 1 on your money. They're plus 250. If you like Michigan on the money line, you're going to have to lay $310 to win 100. And the spread is 7.5. Your total is 144.5 papers. The bet that I felt best about going into the weekend was the over on Michigan and Arizona. That covered with relative ease. And then I alt-betted at 166.5. And if they wouldn't have been missing layups at the end, I get home on that. And that was paying like plus 250.
Yeah. What was the regular total?
I think 155.
Okay.
Something
yeah.
like that.
That was a good play. Yeah. Yeah. I liked Illinois and I liked Arizona, so I did not do well.
It's okay. You were 16-2 last year on the spread zone with college basketball, or something like a 14-2.
Yeah, I could have never seen what happened in the Michigan-Arizona game. That, to me, was the most shocking. That Arizona just didn't look like they belonged on the floor, really. I mean, it wasn't like they were playing terribly. They just weren't making shots, but Michigan looked unstoppable.
Michigan's just got everything going. They're so fast.
Yep. And they're so deep, too. Like they say, like the 9-starter thing. Like, it's crazy.
My buddy Brendan went to Chaminade. He's a really good optometrist. That's from Percy Blumpkin. So there's another one we left out.
Okay.
Left him out.
Yeah. You can text in Chaminade alums, whether they be NBA or NHL stars or just wonderful optometrists. 314-399-9646. Air Comfort Service text inbox. Talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat with 237 TMA listeners. We're at 6,760 subscribers on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Doug, if we get to 6,800, you get gold bullion.
A gold bullion from William Devane.
YouTube.com/TMASTL. That is how you can get involved on the program and watch and talk it over with other TMA listeners. Healthcare Evolution, the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour. If you are dealing with an injury, Healthcare Evolution can take care of it literally today. And you're going to get 10% off when you let them know you are a TMA listener. You want real answers? and same-day pain relief, Healthcare Evolution can get you in the next 24, 48 hours, and you can be feeling relief within the next 24, 48 hours. Go online at healthcare-evolution.com. For years, I thought I had a slap tear, and I did initially, but after a number of years, it's gone away. And I am grateful to Healthcare Evolution for having the technology to be able to show me that. Doug went there. Jackson went there. You can go there as well and get 10% off when you let them know you're a TMA listener. Healthcare-evolution.com, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour. We've talked about the Blues. 3 points back of a playoff spot. The math is 5.5% for a playoff spot as the season winds down. They will take on the Avalanche again, this time in St. Louis tomorrow night. Pregame here on 101 ESPN at 6 p.m., puck drop at 7 p.m. The NCAA tournament, Illinois coming up short against UConn. The Cardinals winning last night, but they lose the series, and that makes the record 2-1 on the season, I guess?
No, it's just not how it works. I know a lot of people seem to think it does. Their record's 5-4.
All right, we'll talk about that because Jordan Walker's got this town a buzzing. We'll talk about that coming up next here on The Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. Michael's Flooring's family and locally owned, now going back more than 3 decades. Michael takes pride in helping and making sure his employees are happy and making a great living because that then translates to the customers. Just go online at igotfloored.com. That's Michael's Flooring's website. They are located in Creve Coeur. They are located in Dardenne Prairie, and they are located in St. Peter's. They have grown throughout the last 3+ decades because employees love working for Michael. They feel like family. He makes sure they're taken care of, and this then rubs off to the families that are buying the product as they know they have the best interests of the buyers at heart. Just come in and talk to them. You're going to see a difference. They want to make sure they suggest the best thing for you and not just pushing what corporate's telling them they have too much of. You can get free samples by going to igotfloored.com. Those samples come from Proximity Mills. It's Michael's Flooring online at igotfloored.com in Creve Coeur, Dardenne Prairie, and St. Peter's. Michael's Flooring online at igotfloored.com.
This is Jackson with the Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. We got UConn and we got Michigan tonight for the NCAA Tournament National Championship, and you can catch the game right here on 101 ESPN with tip-off starting at 7:30 p.m. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
This is an earworm.
Pick up even more momentum over the weekend.
I think so.
Did it really?
No, but with the news from Jeff Jones last night, blue fan caps are just in shambles.
Blue fan caps. Blue fan caps.
And what was this? Are they going
Blue
to wear
Caps
red
fan?
in
That's
Washington?
what I thought I said. Maybe I didn't. What's that?
Jeff Jones tweeted out, bad news for the Blue Hat Crew. I don't know if he means this show, but he said
We're the Blue Hat Crew?
the Blue Hat Crew. He said the Cardinals will be wearing red in D.C. Jeff Jones said, I was told that today, so it's down to just Cincinnati and Philadelphia.
I appreciate looking into it. What the hell are they doing that for?
That's a great question. Unbelievable.
Just to spite us.
It's unbelievable.
God, it looks so ugly.
It's brutal. It looks
It
terrible.
looks so ugly, especially when you have like this classic uniform. I don't get it. But either way, Doug, the Cardinals win last night in a game that, honestly, when Detroit went up 2-0, I was thinking, well, that might just be enough to take care of business. It looked like the World Series game with the Cardinals bundled up. And then also it was a memory from the 2006 World Series as the Tigers mishandled a bunt, threw it away, and that spurred the Cardinal rally.
Here we come, Redbirds. Here we come. 5-4. This is a heck of a start for this young ball club.
Would have been bad, though, to get that sweep, Doug. Then you would have been thinking, all right, here go. The rails are off.
Yeah.
This is the team we thought they were. So you can avoid that narrative for a little longer.
Jordan Walker had a good weekend. He looks like he's turned the corner. Obviously, very small sample size, but in some ways, he does look like a different player than what we've seen the last couple of years. He looks very confident in right field.
949 OPS. He gunned down 2 runners. Just missiles.
Threw the ball 100 miles an hour.
Sweet
from
mother
right
of
field.
mercy.
This is the hardest throw in the outfield, I think they said, this year.
Baseball card statistics, 300 batting average, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. I'm personally, I got to tell you, I'm just not sold. I hope, my God, I hope it wasn't even something that really was on my radar this year. I'd kind of moved on. But I don't know. I still see.
It's a little early to be.
Listen, I hope, Red, Shawshank Redemption. I hope.
No, I don't think the team will be a contender. But
I'm talking about Jordan Walker.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's talking about him being a contender.
Yeah, I don't think they're.
Martin, what are you saying they're going to?
No, every time Walker hits a home run, we get this immediate analysis. Whoa, his swing's better. Oh, he's back on.
It's like the Dennis Gates coaching verdict comes after every game.
Yeah, let's just wait and see.
But he has looked better.
He's had a couple of nice moments. Absolutely, I'm rooting for him. Nice fella. He's got 9 Ks and 30 at bats. But let's just calm down.
Yeah.
Top 1% still in hard hit percentage and exit velo.
Yeah. No, he had a big old grand slam on Saturday. Couldn't outlast the Dustin May start, however, Doug. Your one expensive piece has been bad for 2 starts.
He is responsible for damn near a third of the payroll, and he's also responsible for damn near a third of the runs that the team has given up so far this season.
They might be regretting that signing 2 starts in.
I don't know.
Early.
You know, as I said when we were talking with Brad Thompson on Thursday, that Rick Horton, I happen to be listening to the game, and they might have been talking about it on the telecast, I don't know. Well, Brad said he used the cough button to say to Chip Carey that he thought he was tipping his pitches. So both analysts thought that he was tipping his pitches. That was in his start against the Rays. Then he goes out there against the Tigers, and, you know, I mean, if you're tipping your pitches in back-to-back starts, that's a problem. But the Tigers were laying off his off-speed stuff and then would settle in for when he would try to get it across the plate, and then they would just ship it. And he got hit and hit hard, brother. Whew, cats and dogs. And then McGreevy's got an issue with his velocity, and he was very transparent about it afterwards. He said, hey, listen, it's a concern. he's still able to get guys out. Wasn't as effective on Friday as he was on his Busch Stadium start the previous weekend against the Rays, in which he didn't allow a hit. But his velocity has declined, and that was starting in spring training. May has the velocity. He's getting raked.
Well, that would be a problem if 40% of their starting rotation's got an issue here 2 weeks into the season.
Dustin May, 7 1/3 in those 2 starts. Now he's given up 17 hits in 7 1/3
And he
innings.
looked great in the spring.
13 runs.
I mean, he was really pretty dominant through most of his spring training work.
But now you roll into D.C., Doug. You can win another series. You can do this.
Bad start to the series when announced that they're wearing red hats.
Couldn't agree more with that take.
Yeah.
And that Miles Michaelis won't be getting the ball.
Yeah, that really.
Kind of counting on that.
He
You
was
missed
DFA'd by the Nationals over the weekend, Doug. Both of his starts didn't go great against the Cubs and the Dodgers.
Yeah, historically bad, actually.
What if his post-game interview is like, well, man, I was kind of hoping they'd DFA me in Miami because it's close to home, then I could just drive on up 95. But
So he is no longer with the Nationals. He allowed 11 hits, 11 runs, and
that's in multiple starts, Tim? Those 11 hits, those 11 runs?
no, the other one against the Cubs, 6 hits.
Better?
6 runs. So a total of 15 runs, Martin, in 9 innings of ball. So that ended it for the Natitudes.
Managed by Blake Butera.
33 years old, huh?
Blake Butera.
He would be younger than Michaelis.
Oh, yeah.
But the oldest player on the Cardinals, tied with Ryan Stanek, who got the job done last night. And then Riley O'Brien came in and got the save. So the Cardinals 5-4 as they head to Washington. And then they will take on the Red Sox here in St. Louis. The Red Sox are 2-7. All hell's breaking loose in Boston. Chants throughout Fenway yesterday. Sell the team. They are not happy in Boston.
How do they think selling the team is going to help? They spend all kinds
Are you
of money.
asking that here or are you asking that there?
Well, just kind of throwing that up for grabs. Boston has never shied away from spending money.
Well, they did for a little while with Hamm, which was what was so confusing. They hired him to kind of change their approach, and after a year or two, they said, all right, never mind, we're not going to do that anymore. They don't seem to have a firm direction.
Wilson Contreras is 5 for 31 so far on the year. Not great.
They'll be here this weekend, Doug. It's the return of Wilson Contreras and Sonny Gray.
Standing ovation's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah. They probably won't be able to play much of the game. People just clap forever. Sit down, please.
I'm bringing a Navy Caps on the Road sign to Tuesday's game. That's from Jugs in D.C., who it sounds like he is going to the game between the Cardinals and the Nationals, and he will have a sign held up high.
Okay.
And it will say, Navy Caps on the Road. Nice. Nice job, Jugs.
Now, what's more important, Navy Caps on the road or getting better players?
I think one
kind of a toss-up.
I think they work hand in hand.
Yeah, if you get Navy Caps on the road, great players will want to play here.
Yeah, like Mookie Betts will be like, "Damn, all right, I'll take a discount."
All right.
You think he would?
Right.
Dustin May's next start is scheduled for Friday against his former team, the Red Sox. Trying to see if Sonny Gray will make a start. It doesn't appear that Sonny Gray is lined up to pitch.
Right, it's hot.
Yeah, that's right. Sonny's going Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Jugs in D.C., you are a humongous dork. That's from the TMA Reddit Insider.
Oh,
That's the problem is, like, you could just text into the show something totally normal, and, like, your red rate might get, up a little bit, and then you're just going to get ripped to shreds. Even if you didn't say anything, like, bad about anyone else.
You're only as good as your last text.
Yeah, it's just really, it's a war of attrition.
What's this mean? Is our ace really good? That's from Wedding Tackle.
Libertor's been solid.
Yeah, he's been good. Palante pitches tonight, right?
Yeah, interesting to see if he can replicate some of the good stuff he had on Tuesday of last week.
Leading the team in batting average, antiquated stat. You have to give that caveat every time. Younger at 310. I love the fact. Put the bunt down.
I do like the bunts.
Beautiful.
I like the bunts.
And then they just
child of
chuck
the
it.
80s. I can't get enough of it.
Make them make a play.
Right. And
chuck it into the
I thought they
outfield.
did a great job on the broadcast saying, like, you're forcing him to worry about that speed, and so the chances of an error go up because you got to get it over there quickly.
One of the fastest players in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't bunt even
I
more.
liked the NBC broadcast. Can I say that? I thought it was good. I thought
it was good too.
I thought the Peacock.
It didn't. I mean, it just was solid. There was no nonsense.
No,
I guess
right.
is what I would say. So
Well,
I was thinking that as well as I was watching.
Yeah, like Benetti's good. I really like him.
Very much so.
Love having BT on there. I thought their use of like their on-field analyst, Dexter Fowler, enjoyed that. He was whispering because he was up in the press box. So he was just whispering because it was so cold. He wanted to be in the press box.
So is that their model that they'll do? Benetti's the play-by-play guy, and then whoever's teams are involved will have their analysts sit in.
I think it's a good plan.
Yeah, they're there anyway. Well, I couldn't get Peacock again. I tried.
Oh, no.
I've got one TV in the living room. Peacock, there it is. Hit it, pops right up.
That's how it happens.
That's how I watch Yellowstone. Then I went to the family room with the bigger screen TV last night. I said, I'll watch the Cardinals. Peacock, you don't have it. What do you mean I don't have it?
Well, just enter your credentials, bro.
I did. It didn't take it. Nope. It said nope.
Did you call Jackson?
At that point, I said, I'm not fighting this. I don't want it that bad. If you're gonna make it hard, I won't watch. Works fine on one TV. Other one, nope.
Hey, Doug, everybody's tired of you bitching about your job.
Yeah, bitching about the TV situation.
If we would have brought up Velasquez, we'd be undefeated.
Well, I don't know.
Just for the record, Velasquez, Doug, is last in Memphis in hitting. So far, he is 1 for 21 on the season with a batting average of .048.
I wonder if he was just heartbroken that he didn't make the team and went into a funk.
It would be perfect if he
9 times.
Dominated in spring, didn't make the team, and then now they call him up and say, we think he's ready.
Yeah.
It's 1 for 21.
I'll tell you what, who's on a heater is Blaze Jordan and Jimmy Crooks. Blaze Jordan had another big day yesterday, 12 for 25 on the season with 3 home runs and a 1,456 OPS. Jimmy Crooks is 8 of 20 and 1,438 OPS in Memphis.
That's pretty
He's a
outrageous
catcher,
numbers.
Papers. You got a spot for him?
Yeah, catcher.
Oh, I have plenty of spots. Yeah, absolutely. And Blaze Jordan
Wonder if he could
has
catch.
the catching build.
Yeah, he does.
So he could catch.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's buck the trend of these like really incredibly in shape players and just start putting out guys who hit. We don't care about their body. We're going to be the money ball of modern day, where it's just like, I don't care what you look like. If you can hit, I don't care how good you are at defense. We'll put you anywhere.
Right.
We'll leave a spot open. We'll have 2 designated hitters and we'll have 2 outfielders.
Nathan Church is now hitting 115 as an outfielder. Would it make some sense to put Burleson in left and give Jordan a shot at first base?
Blaze Jordan, you mean?
Yeah.
Call him up.
I could see it.
You really think they would do that?
Not this early. Not this early.
Yeah, I don't think that they would do that this early. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, give it another
Thinking
couple
early
weeks.
June, maybe.
But, man, I'm telling you, that lineup on Friday, I know it's 3 days old, but that was
We kind of called it.
that was stunning. Stunning what was out there.
Not stunning that they got shut out.
I mean,
And our guy Urias was in the cleanup spot for the first time in his career. It was a nice, tidy little home win for the Tigers in their home opener with that Cardinal lineup. They did put Walker in a cleanup, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Again, I would put Herrera cleanup.
here is Ali Marmol. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I know they like him hitting 2. Herrera, the big hit last night. I just think he's your cleanup hitter.
Ali Marmol talked about Jordan Walker as cleanup. Here is the sound from the Cardinal manager.
He's putting in a lot of work, and he's playing with a lot more confidence, not only defensively, but that's a big swing for him today. To come in that situation, they go to the righty, and for him to do that was awesome. So really good swing through the middle of the field, and when he stays in the air that way, man, it's fun to watch. So he's feeling good about it right now. We need to continue that.
Might have been Ali. I think that's Saturday, like after the big.
I didn't get there was. I didn't,
You're fine,
there,
Matt.
there was
I'm
nothing available from yesterday. So
I'm just saying that was. I think they called it after the rain, and then I think Chip Carey interviewed Ali in the dugout. They're talking about the grand slam and the start that Walker's had. Papers, are you interested in the fact that Leo Bernal is hitting 360
Now
in
we're
Memphis?
talking. Yeah.
He is also
catcher.
a catcher.
Oh, yes.
Catchers everywhere, Doug.
As many as we can get.
Put him in. They ruined Pozo by keeping him on the shelf too long.
So he's done. He's hitting 0.
Yeah, he's over. He went 0 for 5. But
Now, you
run
think
him out there.
that Saturday game where the Cardinals are losing 11-6, and they have to stop the game and what, the bottom of the 8th?
Yeah.
Do you think they go to the Cardinals and say, will you just give up, please? I wonder what kind of conversations go on behind the scenes there.
Yeah.
How long you want to wait this out? The forecast is not good. You're losing by 5. You only got one more at bat. Are we going to sit here 2 hours, or do you want to just call it now?
Had the game been flipped, had been a Saturday night game, Sunday day game, maybe something, but because they knew they had all day the next day, maybe.
For the record, we're being asked to remind people on the lineup on Friday. It was Wynn, Herrera, Burleson, Ramon Urias Martin, your cleanup hitter for the first time ever in his career. He's 31. Jordan Walker, Pozo, Sajasi, Fermin, Victor Scott. Framber Valdez was able to negotiate that lineup, and he pitched 6 innings and allowed 3 hits, struck out 5 in 91 pitches. And then the Tigers' bullpen came in and gave up 2 hits and no runs as they shut out the Cardinals 4-0.
They slammed the door on us is what they did.
And that was following a day off. I just don't. I mean, listen, there isn't a lot of depth on the offensive side of things anyway, but wow. Urias at cleanup. Wow. Cats and dogs. Cats and dogs.
Fermin, Urias, Sajasi, I think it was a total of 4 non-starters in the same lineup. I know they're trying to get the right-handed bats in there, but sometimes I think you're better off just with a lefty taking on a lefty than throwing out a right-handed bat that really isn't going to do much. They scored 5 runs last night on 6 singles. That's pretty productive for not having an extra base hit. It does feel like the lineup, especially that second half, it's going to be a little lean.
Stupid lineup. Some Starfish Street.
Yeah. I don't think you can take Weather, Holt, and Gorman out in the same game.
Mason Wynn has been dealing with issues with his hip and didn't play either of the last 2 games. Came out on Friday. So we'll see if he is back in there tonight against Washington. I really would like to know, and it's not just the Cardinals. I've looked into this, Jackson, on why teams don't put up sound on YouTube.
I know. It's really brutal.
And then even if you subscribe to MLB.TV, which I do for all 30 teams, well, I get all 30 teams, just like anybody who would buy the season-long package. It's not there either.
Right.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Probably
Hockey couldn't make it more available. I woke up this morning and
the
Robert
Blues
Thomas,
make it a thing.
Absolutely. I just don't get it.
Yeah. Like I go usually
It's
for
a
the
no-brainer in 2026. You want to grow the game? That's where the younger people are.
And everybody in town has access to Blues postgame after every single game.
Right, and they make it available on their website. They usually tweet it out, whereas I go to the MLB Film Room, which is on MLB.com/Cardinal/video, and then they have usually a minute-long condensed version of Ali Marmol's post-game scrum or press conference. And no, it's not.
Didn't have it last night.
They didn't have anything from last night, assume because it's not their broadcast with Peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock couldn't find anything. It's not great. And yeah, I'm sure that's a niche section of the fan base that wants to get that stuff, but why would you not want to serve them at a time where you need that fan base more than ever?
Mm-hmm.
But the Blues shoot it themselves. It's not, it doesn't matter who's doing the game. Last night was not a FanDuel game. It was on ESPN, and the Blues still have their own videographer that gets
it's frustrating.
The sound every time. They've made it a thing.
Stephen Time's theory is that it might be collectively bargained by the players.
To not be
I don't know.
I don't know why the players wouldn't want that.
I don't understand.
Stephen Time, you can call in. Now, Jackson has to handle the phones here, but you would take Stephen Time's call?
Of course.
314-974-0101. That is the Collier and Thompson phone lines, and you are welcome to text in as well. If you would like a text inbox name, Jackson will do it today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And after Wednesday rolls around, Jackson shuts it down. Not only because Thursday is the 8th, but also because it's the start of the Masters. And Doug, the dogwoods, the azaleas, the pageantry.
All right.
Oh, the family. Oh, the tradition. Will you be watching the coverage from the range today in Augusta?
From the range, no. I will not be watching guys on the practice range. When the tournament starts, sure. Practice range stuff, I'm a little busier than that. I won't be sitting around watching that, no.
Don't you want to see their trajectories?
No. Just let me know when the tournament starts, and I'll watch that.
Did I read that McAfee wanted to do his show from there, and Augusta said no? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Why is that? I saw that was story online. I don't understand why that's a story online.
Well, it gets clicks.
Okay, well, you know what? I got to be honest. That's a good answer, and I will stand down.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, like there's outlets that like just report on what he says on his show. So he says something on a show, they put it up on the article, and then you take it out of the context of the show.
I saw him saying it. It wasn't like he was upset. He was making the point that it's impossible to get on the grounds there, and they sure as hell aren't, at least as of right now, going to let any show do a show from there.
Why don't we announce that we're not welcome there?
Yeah, nice.
Make it into a thing.
Because you know that we're not.
What?
We're not welcome.
We're making it official, Doug.
Okay.
Why don't we put in next year papers? Let's put in, you, Mike Ryder, nice little letter from Hubbard Radio, the mothership, and then just send it over and say, the boys would love to do this show from Augusta.
Mr. Lick says he will take Bryson against the field.
That doesn't seem like a very good bet.
Wow. He's taking Bryson.
Distance does really help at Augusta.
How about that take?
But against the entire field?
I wouldn't personally take that. I would be on the field on that one.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to wager with Mr. Licks?
I'm good.
Mr. Licks is so wealthy.
I'm good. I mean, would you take the field in that situation, Tim?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to. Now, Michigan was part of the...
take the field on Scotty Scheffler.
Right.
For the record, Bryson is the fourth shortest odds. He and Rory McIlroy tied, I guess, for third, both at plus 1,200. Rahm plus 850. Scotty Scheffler plus 500.
But the NCAA bracket, our field versus was Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and it's coming down to it. It looks like that's going to probably come through.
Yeah.
Mr. Lick says give him plus 1,000.
Plus 1,000? Mm-hmm. So he gets... No, I don't want
He's even taking shorter odds. It's plus 1,200, and he's giving you a break.
Yeah,
it's a 16% reduction from Licks.
But he said it like with his whole chest, where it's like, no, we'll take it straight up.
His whole chest?
Yeah, he said it with confidence. And now he seems to be changing up, moving the goalposts even. But I'm not betting him. Bad vibe bet.
Doug, Pat McAfee rips St. Louis Cardinals and Blues Friday night at SmackDown. Get the audio. That's from Mr. Banger.
What did he say?
Jackson, you were there.
What the hell should I know?
Whoa.
He was here?
Was he? I don't know.
He was here. The event was here?
I'll break the kayfabe. Is that what it is? Kayfabe?
What?
I don't watch wrestling. I never would watch wrestling.
No.
I don't care if McAfee in wrestling was doing it in my living room. I wouldn't watch it.
But
it looks like the WWE SmackDown, this just in, Doug, took place at the Enterprise Center on Friday.
And we got poor-mouthed? Oh, I don't like that.
Would you have been trolling, potentially?
Huh.
It's wrestling. None of it. What are we talking about?
First, the guy with the Mets comes in and disparages our city.
He
and now
ripped Matt Chapman a new one yesterday, too. Gary Cohen was all over Matt Chapman.
Matt Chapman? Was he Matt Chapman?
I said it was a no good, very bad week for Matt Chapman after he got gunned down or something. Gary Cohen went right after him. I meant to cut that.
Yeah.
But I'm inept.
Clip that
up. Chris Kerber is going to join us. We started the program with the Blues 3 points back of a playoff spot, 5.5% to make the playoffs per Money Puck, Doug. Here we go. Colorado in town tomorrow night, and the Blues are still alive for a playoff spot as they sit lingering in the Western Conference with a wide variety of teams. At this point, it looks like Utah's going no matter what. And so there are 5 teams fighting for that one playoff spot, and that is the Predators, Kings, Sharks, Jets, and the Blues. Chris Kerber will give us his perspective on the Blues winning on Friday night and last night in Denver. Robert Thomas with the hat trick. Chris Kerber joins us next here for his traditional 8:15 appearance on Mondays on the morning after. This is 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel.
Hey, get online right now. Get an appointment for Classic Air Care to come to the house and do a maintenance check on your air conditioning unit. It's really simple. It's classicaircare.com. They've got over 100 vans on the road. They can typically get to you within 24 hours. And for $79, they come out, they make sure that air conditioner is ready to go. It's cleaned out, that it's running properly, that it's blowing properly, that the temperature variance is right. All the things you need to make sure that one of the most important pieces of equipment in your house that keep you comfortable throughout the summer is ready to go. It's also a great way to help avoid any catastrophic big-time errors. Look, it's no different than changing the oil on your car, rotating your tires. Basic maintenance like that is going to help ensure the life of that air conditioning unit. And as you know, that heat's about to come here in the St. Louis area. You want to make sure that it's up and running. Classic Air Care. They've got a 4.8 Google rating for a reason. Their customer service is their number one priority. They make sure that the customer is completely satisfied. They've got techs with decades of experience to work on any unit, so they know that when they come into your house, they can diagnose, they can clean, they can just make sure it's ready to go, and they will tell you exactly what's going on so you know what you can expect and exactly how good that unit is. So it's really that simple. You want that unit running perfectly well, and you want it running as efficiently as possible as the heat starts to come and as we turn into the summer. Go online at classicaircare.com, book a maintenance appointment today. Have them come to your house like they've done to mine. Classic Air Care, they've been making people comfortable since 1926.
It's the morning after 101 ESPN, and joining us now on the Callier and Thompson phone lines, as he does in the 8 o'clock hour every Monday here on the program, Chris Kerber with us on the TMA Callier and Thompson phone lines. Morning, Kerbs.
Morning, Tim. How are you?
Wonderful, sir. How about Robert Thomas over the weekend? Sweet mother of mercy, Doug. Sweet mother of mercy. Robert Thomas with a hat trick. Blues beating the division-leading Ducks and Avs to remain in the playoff race as Robert Thomas leads the way offensively.
Yeah, finally got that elusive hat trick. He's had, I think, 10, 11 attempts at it, but finally it came, and what, not just him, what a night for that line. I mean, that toe drag by Jimmy Snuggerud, then they had to respect the shot, and he then just slides it right over to a wide-open Robert Thomas. That line has been fantastic since being put together coming out of the break, and they won the game for the Blues last night. They were just fantastic.
In the big picture, what do you think it was that got this team turned around in such a dramatic way to be 13-3-3 in their last, since the Olympics?
I think two things. I think first and foremost, the goaltending. The goaltending has just been outstanding, and Joe Hofer had to be good again last night too, Doug. I mean, Colorado came out and kind of like they did back in December. They peppered the Blues a little bit early, and he had a couple of great saves, one on Natchez, two on McKernan, and that allowed it. Then eventually they got a bounce as well. Colorado looked like they had scored, but they were offside. And then, and then the Blues were able to get on the board, and then the game was underway. So goaltending first and foremost on this turnaround, and then honestly the line we were just talking about. I think 5-on-5. They made that Nathan McKernan line. Nathan McKernan is plus 54 on the season coming into that game. They turned those guys into a -3 last night. I mean, that was impressive. So the production of that line and then the goaltending really are the two biggest things.
I think the consensus at the trade deadline is that Armstrong, Steen, they were looking to kind of shake it up, move not just a couple of veterans like Falk and Shen, but maybe go beyond that. Do you think this run post-Olympic break, do you think this changes sort of their view of the roster at all?
Well, I got to think that it has to a little bit. And, maybe in this sense, the two guys that obviously had their name out there a lot from a rumor standpoint, at that time, obviously, were Colton Parayko and Robert Thomas. Well, number one, look at what Colton Parayko is doing with Theo Linstein. Linstein's played 13 games and has just looked absolutely fantastic, and Parayko is a massive reason for that. They've got his locker, Linstein's locker, right next to Colton's in the locker room as well. So there's some mentorship going on there, not all that different than what we saw from Braden Shen with Jake Neighbors, for example. So I think that's important. And then look at just what Robert Thomas is doing, as we were just talking about with that line. To me, like there's just, you don't have another Robert Thomas in the organization at the moment. Like, Dvorsky isn't quite there yet. He's still in his first year, and Robert Thomas is in year 7, right? It's just going to take some time. But Robert Thomas finally, Martin, has some shooters on the wing, and then some guys that can pass the puck clearly. He played with Tarasenko for a little while there. That was pretty good with Buchnevich and Tarasenko, but that didn't last all that long before Vladimir was traded, right? So now the kind of a pure shooter like you've got in Snuggerud, and the guy that can, I think, really going to continue to grow if he stays healthy and do an absolute stud and star of the league, and that's Holloway. I mean, I think it definitely has to make you rethink what some potential deals might have been at the deadline.
Some of us are still clinging to this playoff dream. Do you get the sense the players are too? Are they counting the points and watching the scoreboard? They must be, right?
They are. They've kind of shifted right back into that business-like mode. When I was talking to some of them yesterday morning, Doug, before the game, but the scenario's. I mean, look, the scenario's tough. Time's running out. I mean, losing to San Jose with 21 seconds to go, what to me was the biggest dagger of this road trip. They picked up then after that game 5 out of a possible 6 points. But had they won the games in San Jose and L.A., they would have controlled their own destiny. Now, they needed a massive win over Colorado, and you're going to have to beat them 2 in a row, to pull this off. Because here's what's happening. You're 3 points out when you look at the standings this morning, but tonight Los Angeles and Nashville play in Los Angeles. So one of those 2 teams is going to get a guaranteed 2 points, and that puts you 5 points back going into Tuesday still. So, they're in it. They're still going to need some help, and they're going to need to help themselves by continuing to win. And the Blues, out of all those teams that are in that hunt, have the toughest schedule. Another one against Colorado, one against Minnesota, one against Winnipeg, one against Utah, one against Pittsburgh. But with the way they're playing, they've been competitive in every single game since that break ended, and they're giving themselves a chance. And the other good value, the other most important part of it is you do have these young guys now coming to the rink, and instead of playing meaningless games and just kind of playing out the rest of a schedule, there's something to battle for, and that sure gives Jim Montgomery a chance to keep coaching.
A week ago, I think it was the San Jose game, you and Joey were talking about now the pressure's dialed up a little bit. You've been winning, so you put yourself in a position now to make this a little bit like a playoff game. So maybe in a small way, it's like that again on Tuesday with Colorado. So I don't know that's a fair barometer, but I feel like once again, okay, let's see how they do now with the intensity turned up just a little bit.
And I think that's a really important piece, is something that Alex Steen is evaluating right now, Martin, because, and again, it helps him with his evaluations. Like, Alex is watching everything and practices closely, stuff from body languages to how the guys are working, still, trying to get better, game in, game out, practice in, practice out. But if you go back to the trade deadline, the pressure was kind of off, right? Okay, you play a little loose. It looks like you're out of it. A few weeks ago, you're sitting there second to last and looking at the second overall pick. You look at the standings now, and all of a sudden you'd have the 9th overall pick, and you're 3 points out of a playoff spot. And if you look at how a young team handles different pressure moments, you go back to that San Jose game. The first half of that game, they didn't handle those pressure moments really well. And so how do you grow from that? Well, you got to be in more of them. And it's the one thing you just can't, one of many things you can't replicate, but you can practice, you can preach, you can do whatever you want. But unless a young player or even a veteran player gets in the pressure cooker a little bit, you just don't know how they're going to react. And so this is kind of also an important learning curve. Like I thought along those lines, that's just a massive start and a fantastic game from Joe Hofer last night. I mean, he hasn't played too many games with the season on the line like he did last night, and he stepped up in a big way. So, yeah, those type of moments, you have to still have the patience and the trust to understand it's a learning moment and put the young players into the fire, and they responded really well last night.
I was impressed last night to see that Brent Burns of Colorado was playing in his 1,001st straight game as a defenseman, with as physical as the game is and blocking shots and getting hit. He hadn't missed a game since 2014. That's really incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you know what? So you look at a few things. There are only two players in the history of the league have now done it. It was Phil Kessel that had done it before. He's played 63 more games now, Kessel has, than Burns. So Burns would have to play again next year to actually set the new mark. You know, that was at one point held until 1988 or 1989 by Gary Younger at 913. But this guy is playing in his 22nd season. He could still get the shot through towards the net just as well as any defenseman in the league. But when you're watching a game like that and you're realizing he's in his 22nd season in the National Hockey League, and the Blues have a 19-year-old, a couple of 20-year-olds, and a couple of 21-year-olds, there's about 5 players on the Blues roster that weren't born when Brent Burns started his NHL career. I mean, that kind of stuff is wild to me. And the fact that, he came in, remember, when he was drafted by Minnesota, he came into the National Hockey League as a forward. And then Minnesota put him in a defenseman for a little bit. Then when they traded him to San Jose, he still played as a forward or as a defenseman. And then about 3 years into his career with San Jose, they needed a forward. They put him at right wing for an entire season and then moved him back to defense. It's been quite a spectacular career for Brent Burns, who's still chasing that potential Stanley Cup, and he may find another one with Colorado this year. We'll have to wait and see.
Texter want to know, do you think Hofer's back in there Tuesday to face Colorado yet again? That's such a great question. I was thinking about that one last night on the plane coming home, Martin. I almost think you have to put him back in there. And if we're talking about growing moments and growing opportunities, and as well as he played, I almost think you do put him right back in there and see how he continues to respond. Because again, it's not that when I say this, it's not that I'm saying that making the playoffs isn't important. Right. But the reality of it is when you have an opportunity right now with where this team is in this transition mode still to give guys pressure cooker moments like that, I think you've got to do it. So that move would not surprise me at all.
That would be 3 games in a row for him with the season on the line. How do you think Bennington's handling that?
I think Jordan is in a great spot. I think he's handling it well. I think we all know how competitive he is. We all know that he wants to be in there. We also know that his day-to-day mindset for Jordan Bennington now is as good as it's ever been. And when you talk to him in practices and before games, you just continue to see how he really is in a great spot mentally. So I think he understands the situation. I just don't think, Doug, that you can look at the goaltending situation any differently than you look at maybe the Mayu situation or, a scenario up front with Jimmy Snuggerud or some of the younger players. And right now you're putting Logan Mayu out there with Broberg, and you're getting him as much experience in those moments as you can. Now, I think Jim Montgomery did some great coaching again, yesterday and juggled a couple defensive pairings towards the end of that game to secure the win, and I get that. But, I think you've just got to look at Joe Hofer at 25 years of age the same way you got to look at a bunch of that other group of young guys, and if there's an opportunity, give it to him and, see how he does with it. And I don't think that that's a flawed philosophy there.
Blues and Avalanche right here on 101 ESPN. Tomorrow pregame at 6 p.m. Puck drop at 7 p.m. The Blues, per money puck, 5.5% chance to make the Stanley Cup playoffs as they now sit 3 points back of the 8th spot. Curbs, always appreciate the time. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, guys, have an awesome week. We'll see you at the rink this week.
That's Chris Kerber with us here on TMA on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Doug, can you tell us about Callier and Thompson?
Well, this is the place where you go if you're not fooling around with your rehab, if you want the absolute best in town. Now, you can call your Uncle Pinky, and he can get his best friend Yaya to come over there and try to do something with the kitchen, but you don't know what you're going to get, and you can't trust him. The thing about Collier and Thompson is you can trust this outfit. They've been doing it since the 1950s. Trust is a hard thing to find in the remodeling industry. Homeowners have many frustrations with communication, timelines, sometimes people just showing up to do the work. You can avoid all those frustrations if you work with Collier and Thompson. They check all the boxes. They focus on thoughtful design, clear expectations, and building relationships. Whether you're looking to redo your kitchen, bathroom, redo your basement, a man cave, maybe you want your whole house painted. They have an entire painting division there. Phil is the paint manager. They just do outstanding work at Collier and Thompson and have for many, many years. Good idea to go to the showroom on Manchester. They got more than 10,000 square feet to look around, get some ideas. A designer can work with you, tell you what they can do for your kitchen, your bathroom, whatever it is that you would like to improve. Collier and Thompson is there for you. They got the absolute best carpenters, plumbers, electricians. It's all right there in-house. You don't have to go shopping all over town to get the work done. It's a one-shop deal at Collier and Thompson. You will be very happy that you chose them to do your remodel. Collier and Thompson is on Manchester Road in Manchester, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Come on to quality online at collierandthompson.com.
You're welcome to call into the Collier and Thompson phone lines at 314-974-0101. And you are welcome to text in to the Air Comfort Service text inbox, 314-399-9646. And, of course, talk it over with other TMA listeners. 300 are in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Sammy Davis Jr. Tap Shoes is talking to STL Chris, who's talking to DJ Patty Cakes, and Kitty Bates, who says, hey, Kerber, do you know why the media in this town is soft and delusional about the Blues prospects?
What?
Didn't see that question in time to ask him.
No, we would have.
You can get involved as well. Michelob Ultra, sponsor of the YouTube chat. Doug, Mike Francesa has a Rick Pitino take, but then it turns on him talking about who he sits with at horse races. We'll have that coming up for you on the program. This is TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios on 101 ESPN and on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Doug, what do we have here?
This is a rare collab of Rick James and someone who has a birthday today.
Pooh
No, someone Tim has often said that he believes he looks like.
Oh, Billy D. Williams.
Bingo. Today's Billy D. Williams' birthday.
Is he still with us?
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, take a guess on this age.
Ooh. He's going 86.
Say 83.
88.
Today is Billy D. Williams' 89th birthday.
Oh, Arden, you shipped it.
Born in 1937.
Lando Calrissian. Thanks. Think about that. It's TMA 101 ESPN Fisher Window and Door Store, sponsor of the 8 o'clock hour here on the program. Chris Kerber just with us. And if you missed it, you can always go back and podcast via the Schaefer Door Company podcast. Schaefer Door online at SCHAEFER door.com. If the garage door broke over the weekend, no problem. Go to SchaeferDoor.com right now. They set aside time in the Monday morning as spots to make sure that they can get to your garage door right away on Monday mornings, and that's what they will do for you. That's Jason Gosrow and Schaefer Door Company, SCHAEFER door.com, Schaefer Door Company. Longtime TMA sponsor. And they gave away a garage door to the poor film student for winning the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day last month. Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of the podcast here on TMA and 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett on the ones and twos. Chairman Kurt vacationing in the Hamptons. Mike Francesa. Doug, he's on the Bet Rivers, and he was giving his thoughts on Rick Pitino. And then it might have gotten off track. You be the judge. Take a listen.
Okay, I'd like to.
He told me this twice in August. You know, we sit and talk because we were all up there. He's up there a lot. He loves the horses. He loves Saratoga. So do I. So does Rapoli. Rapoli sits to my right. Patino sits behind me. Parcells sits behind me. I mean, there's a lot of the coaches there, a lot of the guys there who are all there all the time. You know, Chris Mara's up there next to my horse partner, Leon Seidler. They have boxes next to each other. So we're all in this, you know, we're all up there talking to each other. What you call it? You know, Dave from Barstool now is up there. And he's got the horse book now. He bought horses. So Dave's got horses now. And
yeah.
So it's about Patino? I think we had a previous clip, and it was maybe about the Giants, but it was all going back to him at the track.
It often divulges. Now that he's doing it from his basement, it kind of just turns into who did I see at the horse races the other day.
So that was his Rick Pitino breakdown of his coaching acumen.
Well, no, more so about him continuing on coaching St. John's. I guess he was a little surprised he wants to keep coaching based on his conversations at Saratoga.
Saratoga Lanes.
Yeah.
Papers, who'd you see over the weekend at Saratoga Lanes?
Yeah. Rapoli.
That's the one in Maplewood, right?
Old school, baby.
Yeah.
Old school players and new school fools. Cats keep you jumping like kangaroos. Think about that. Is that
I was just talking about bowling.
Rapoli owns the UFL, and the Rock just kind of disappeared. Wasn't he the face of the UFL and all of the and then also now there's this Mike Rapoli just everywhere. And he said, hey, we might just play at that Energizer Park. And City's like, that's kind of our soccer stadium. And God bless the Battlehawks, but maybe we'll just keep it our soccer stadium. But he keeps saying it everywhere. Maybe we might just go over there and play like, well, it doesn't work like that. But he's up there hanging with Francesa.
Oh, sure. And Rapoli made his money with drinks, right? Like vitamin water, that kind of thing?
I think you're right.
I thought that was 50 Cent.
Well, it could have been both of them. It's a pretty good deal if you can sell people water.
Why don't we sell some water then?
Well, we should. You just get tap water, and you call it Mountain Spring Fresh Water. And then you just rake in the billions.
You ever get stuck in a group text, like your friends of yours, but it started like months ago about something specific, and then it just reappeared. I had a friend who sent it the other day, and it was about plastics and the microplastics, which is like a Joe Rogan episode. And then everybody there started chiming in, and it was about 40 texts back and forth. I never once responded, but it was Doug about, shouldn't be drinking this. I got my bottle of water here. Shouldn't be doing that. We're getting our microplastics, and it just just want to open my phone and not have a chain of text.
Those microplastics wind up in your brain.
Yeah, I know.
And now it's on to Augusta.
Okay.
Now the players are heading to the range, and you'll be able to watch the coverage on the range via the Masters app beginning at noon today, and then on CBS and Paramount Plus from noon to 2 p.m. as well. And then live from the Masters on the Golf Channel from 2 to 5 p.m., and then again another 2-hour show from 5 to 7 p.m., Doug, so you can watch coverage of the players ball striking from noon until 7 p.m.
Just on the practice range?
On the Masters app, and see if you can figure out who's going to win based on...
I wouldn't know, because they all look darn good on the range.
Their shot shaping. Jackson, have you released your play on who will win the 2026 Masters? Mr. Licks is on Bryson DeChambeau. He will take Bryson DeChambeau. You can have the field.
I'll release that at this time on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Yeah, give me a couple
tune
days.
in at 8:42 on Wednesday, April 8th, here on 101 ESPN and the TMASTL YouTube channel for Jackson's play.
Okay. I'll take Scheffler.
What?
I know that's really...
Chalk.
Yeah. If he's the best player in the world right now, why wouldn't you pick him?
I don't know if he is actually right now.
He's still ranked number 1.
Well, I understand that, but as far as the way he's playing, he isn't playing up to his standard right now.
Yeah, why do you hate J.J. Spawn?
Yeah.
Well, I've had enough of him. I'm fed up with him. I'm tired of him trying to bogart the spotlight.
I think Xander is who I'd be.
But we're just...
Oh, you just released your play.
Well, it's
how about that, Martin? I mean, we had that time spent listening deep tease.
It was going to be 48 hours, and it ended up being 60 seconds.
That's just who I'm kicking around. Xander.
We've got another...
He's got the no major championship thing off his back. He's been playing well recently. He's played well at Augusta many a time before.
Top 10 in 5 of his past 7 starts.
Yeah.
I bet you guys will all be watching the Masters pantsless because you guys are all a bunch of wealthy a-holes. Doug, that's from 618.
You got the wealthy part wrong. Everything else, maybe.
We will be watching pantsless?
Possibly.
Cam Young won the Players. The last 2 Masters champions won the Players. Give me Cam Young. It's from former Cardinal Jed Jerko.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Boy, he could turn around a fastball.
Gonna be rich. Jed with 2 Ds. He likes to play that ping pong.
Plowhawk once boxed him out when doing Question of the Day at spring training, and I don't think he liked it.
Boxed him out?
Like he unintentionally kind of backed into the fence and cut off Jed Jerko's path to the ball field.
And forced Jed Jerko to speak? Or boxed him out of...
Like, I think literally, like he was going to grab a board.
But who did he interview? Somebody else? Or
he was talking with somebody else.
Okay. Yeah. Jed was just kind of in the way.
Yeah. Well, Plowhawk might have been in the way.
As a professional plastics pusher, keep plastic's name out your damn mouth. Oh. That's from the Maplewood Mud Muffler, Martin. It sounds like he wants a piece of you.
Well, I'll send him this group chain here. It's a lot of discussion about
They're saying when you microwave something, you should do it now in a glass bowl and not in a plastic cup or bowl or something, just to keep those plastics out of the food.
If we were smart, which we weren't.
Thanks, Chuck.
We like to read books and talk smart things too.
Okay.
Do you have a drop section just for smart stuff?
Yeah, keyword search.
Keyword search. I like that.
It's not a bad play. Doug, one shining moment will be coming your way tonight. I'm going to set the over-under. Jackson, how do you like this? At 10:34.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Luther Vandross?
The great Luther Vandross.
Well, they're tipping at 7:50?
Which will really be like 8:01.
But when do they play that one? Isn't it after a lot of post-game? I'm going to take the over, Tim. I think
You're going over 10:34?
I think there's a lot of post-game before they get to it.
Yeah, a lot of podium work. Like, well, the stage they bring out there.
And then the sad interview of the coach that lost.
Will they have Chainsmokers again?
Oh, that'd be
at halftime.
It was so odd.
What clip will there be of Missouri, Miami?
T.O. Barrett flying into the stands.
All right. And what clip will there be of the Billikens?
Maybe
Avila will be in there. I think Quentin Jones, after his dunk against Georgia and shaking his head while a Georgia player shoots free throws. Billikens and Avila is such an obvious face. He will be in there.
For sure.
That's my play. So many moments to choose from the Missouri-Miami game, Doug. You think they'll show 6 or 7 clips?
Probably. If we get one.
Maybe a Mark Mitchell free throw.
Kellen Thames obviously had the sick dunk against Michigan, but if Michigan wins, it's probably not going to be great to show, Eddie Marr getting slammed on. But maybe. That was a sweet moment.
One shining moment, such a lame tradition. It sucks. That's from Eric.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
You're really reaching new heights when you start crapping on something like one shining moment.
Speaking of new heights, Jon Hamm was on New Heights with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce explaining his football fandom. Jackson, I don't know if you have that.
I had it earmarked to be on the show, and I didn't cut it, but I can pull it up real quick.
All right.
Just great.
We'll have that.
Right when we needed it. What timing is everything in this business?
He had it earmarked.
I like that, earmarked. We'll have that for you coming up. We have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. That's at 9:45 on the Polos Plus dossier. So send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Look who sucks! That's from the salty bald dad from Caseyville. He's not happy. I don't know if that's with the municipality or with Horton Watkins. We'll figure that out. Martin, you'll tell us about Design Air Heating and Cooling.
Happy to talk about Design Air. I had it earmarked to do it in the 8 o'clock hour because Design Air is there for you. Heating, cooling, year-round. Whether it's replacement or a repair, you're going to get the best in town. And they've been doing this for over a century. Family owned and operated, they have been able to maintain that. Sometimes a big company with a great name, they'll get an out-of-town buyer. Not the case. Seth Goldcamp, 4th generation, family-owned business here in St. Louis. We love all the reviews we get from the listeners, the experience they had. My personal experience getting a new furnace in November, outstanding. From every step of the way, the explanation early on, then you make the selection, the installation. Whole team is great. We talk about the employees there, and you can tell they enjoy working for Design Air, and there is a difference when you're with a company where the employees are happy. You will be too if you do your heating and cooling business with Design Air. It's designairservice.com. That's where you can find them online.
The morning after at InsideSTL.com. That is where you can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. It is 8:48 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett on the ones and twos. Will you be angry at Jon Hamm, Doug, after you hear this?
No, I won't.
A bunch of reasons to be. It's coming up next here on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel.
Was at the Village Bar on Friday. Never disappoints anytime you go in there. Friends and family, watch the games. Man, they were going all weekend with the games. The golf will be going. The Masters, stop by for lunch, happy hour. Grab yourself some of those wings or a burger. Salads also a little underrated there. But in addition to all of that, they have 1879 Distilling, and I've been telling you about the tastings on Saturdays, noon to 5. It's also a great time to check out what is essentially the 1879 General Store. It's on the east end of the building, faces Manchester there. It's this cool little tavern, old school bar, tastings on Saturdays from noon to 5. Kyle will go through the tastings with you. Check out 1879 Rye, 1879 Bourbon. You can sample the products there and also get a view into this really cool spot there, kind of a secret little spot that's getting to be better known, a gift shop for all things Village Bar, all things 1879. They've got merchandise in there. You can buy the products in there. Eventually have a little patio out front. Find out more at 1879distilling.com. That's in the barn out back. Right behind Village Bar is the barn, the home to these award-winning spirits that they're making, picking up awards throughout the region here with the Red Barn vodka and all the different flavors that they have. Tasting room open on Saturdays from noon until 5.
This is Jackson with the Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues win yesterday 3-2 over Colorado. They'll play Colorado again tomorrow evening. Pregame at 6, puck drop at 7 right here on 101 ESPN. That was our Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Doug, this is our second Outcast reference of TMA in the first 2 hours of the presentation here on 101 ESPN Papers. What do we have going on?
You mentioned Outcast, so I figured good enough time as any to play them.
There you go.
It's TMA, the program presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Brown and Cruppen's on getbc.com. Call 314-222-2222. Go online, getbc.com. If you get in an accident, money can be tight. That's why Brown and Crouppen does everything for free. They don't get paid unless you get paid, and they come to you. Phone calls, free. Questions, free. Brown and Crouppen, local. You're going to want a local attorney if you are in need. Brown and Crouppen, longtime TMA presenting sponsor, online at getbc.com or call 314-222-2222. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. On our polosplus.com dossier, we'll have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today at 9:45. Chris Kerber with us earlier in this program. If you want to go back and podcast via the Schaefer Door Company podcast, or you can go back and watch the program anytime you would like on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Blues off after the win last night. Robert Thomas with the hat trick. Blues just 3 points back of a playoff spot. 6 games remaining. 5.5% to make the playoffs according to Money Puck. Cardinals beating the Tigers last night. They will take on Natitude tonight. Andre Palante on the mound. The Cardinals, for some reason, not wearing the Navy caps in Washington. And this program, angrier than hornets.
You think they're doing it just to spite us?
I do, and I'm glad you asked.
Jeff Jones called it the
Blue Hat Crew.
The Blue Hat Crew.
That's what we are. We are changing the name of the program from TMA to the Blue Hat Crew. Then also, Michigan taking on UConn tonight. 7.5-point favorites for the Wolverines. And, Doug, that would be their first national championship
since way back when.
Nice.
Since way back when. I think everyone knows. I don't have to just come out and say it. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Kind of surprised they only have that one.
They lost to Louisville in the national championship game.
That Beeline kept getting there, right? He'd get to the Final Four.
One championship game, and I think it was Louisville. Has anybody seen my nurse?
I haven't seen her. I've not seen her.
Lost to Duke, the national championship game with the Fab Five. They were doing the alt cast on Saturday night, and their last win was against Seton Hall. And Rabeel Robinson, and of course, Danny Hurley went to Seton Hall. And we go full circle tonight with Danny Hurley on the sidelines.
Okay.
What?
I don't think it'll be close. I think Michigan will run them off the field.
Michigan national runner-up in 2013, 2018, so relatively
Who'd they lose to in 2018, that man? Yeah.
That's a great question.
Another club that had their number.
The UVA? No, it couldn't have been. That would have been the year they lost.
Villanova.
Yeah.
Nova.
Oh.
Jay Dwight. I coached my son's Little League team and made damn sure we have Navy caps. It's in Doug's cuckstool.
Okay. Just because you liked them so much. What if the team otherwise wears green?
And then you have Navy caps?
Yeah.
No, that would look bad.
Well, Doug, there it is. Scotty Scheffler is on the range right now at Augusta National. And wow, what a sight to behold. The new father.
Just walking up to the...
brand new perspective on life after his wife, Meredith. Why? She gave birth to their second child, Remy. And so that perspective may lead him to his third green jacket. We'll find out Sunday.
Perspective means anything?
A lot of earth tones from Scheffler this morning.
Earth tones.
Sometimes we act like golfers are the only people that have babies. Oh, my God, he's a new papa. All right, there's millions of them out there. How's this going to affect your job as an accountant? Does it give you an all-new perspective? No.
So you're looking for broadcasts of, like, CPAs, like in their day-to-day?
I just wonder why sometimes we make such a big deal out of when a golfer or an athlete has a baby, we go, "Oh my God, he had a child." Yeah, it happens rather frequently.
In the old days, the athlete would just be on the road playing ball. Like, what's that? Yeah, back home, the missus.
She'll be fine.
She had a kid.
Got a midwife there.
We got a big ball game tonight.
Doug, Jon Hamm went on New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey and gave his breakdown of his fandom. And I guess he's part of Chiefs Kingdom, even though he's a St. Louisan.
Well, okay.
We'll see what he had to say here. Here is a friend of the program, a surprise guest, Martin. Jon Hamm.
You think he was a surprise to the Kelseys?
Are you Chiefs Kingdom and not Rams?
I'll give you the history of my football rooting.
All right now, please.
1989, the Cardinals moved from St. Louis to Arizona.
Yeah.
So we're f***ed. Then it becomes like, well, maybe we can get the Rams to move to St. Louis. And everyone's like, they're not going to move to St. There's no way. And of course, they build this $500 million stadium. Hey, all of a sudden the Rams are in St. Louis, 94. Next year, I moved to L.A. So the Rams are now in St. Louis, but I'm in L.A.
That's funny. Swap places.
And they're terrible until Dick Vermeil shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kurt Warner shows up. And then Marshall Faulk shows up. And then Isaac Bruce shows up. And then Torrey Holt shows up. And it was like, all of a sudden, this nucleus coalesced, and it was the greatest show on turf. So that was super fun to watch. Then they win the Super Bowl in 2000, and they should have beat the Patriots in 2001. I have a theory about that. And then they moved back to
funny,
LA,
really.
win the Super Bowl in LA. With Stafford.
Oh, yeah.
So that's when I got nothing left in St. Louis. Then it's like, well, at least I got the team in Missouri on the other side. And that's the ascendancy of you guys and everybody there. Now they're moving that to Kansas. So I'm like, come on, man. Where do I go from here? The Battlehawks? It's great. Watching the Chiefs come together in the way that they have. Paul Rudd and I have been buddies since high school, since I was 15. He was 17.
That dude, man.
We were at the game, the first Super Bowl you guys won.
Yeah.
And he was there with his son.
Oh,
who was
Jack,
about 15
man.
or 16 years old.
Yeah.
He was so emotional. He got a bloody nose. He was just like,
Oh, I remember that. Hell yeah.
it was awesome. He got to go down. That was in Miami, I think. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. But it's been great. It's been great to watch. Your success as well. I mean, couldn't happen to two nicer guys. That's all I'll say.
You're the man, dude.
Oh boy, that was
a lot
rather
going on.
violent ending.
There's just a lot going on. So do they post-produce that papers? Do you think they go back and then add all the beeps and buzzers?
Correct.
Okay, a lot
Do you
of
like
beeps
post-production?
and buzzers.
I don't mind it.
A lot of beeps and
I'm
buzzers.
impressed by it.
Who
Certainly
was
not something I do.
howling? Was that Jason or Travis? 'Cause they
Jason.
were howling.
Laughing a little too much at things that weren't really funny.
No, I found nothing about it funny.
Oh. Well, they were having a good time.
Well, I might as well root for the other team on the other side of the state. That's
I don't
You're
think-
mad at Jon Hamm.
I find that to
John,
be
call in.
incredibly
streaming.
arbitrary.
Well, it is your home state, I guess you could be.
Okay.
Mentioned the Battlehawks.
Yes, he did.
But he seemed to almost say, like, I don't know. What am I going to do with that? That's what it sounded like. They play on Tuesday night, Doug. Battlehawks will play tomorrow night. Tim, you're going to be put to the test because the Blues are playing.
Yep.
The Cardinals are playing.
Not wearing Navy caps.
And the Battlehawks are playing all at the same time.
Okay.
And there's probably a replay of some guys hitting golf balls at the Masters on the range. If you want to watch a replay of that.
My.
When did
Can
the battle-
Matthew Fitzpatrick?
I don't care about the range.
Looks like
When,
he's got a
when did the
5-5.
Battlehawks start playing games on Tuesday nights?
Well, I think once the TV network said, hey, we wouldn't mind a game on a Tuesday night, this sounds good.
All right.
They're playing the Dallas Renegades, Doug.
Okay.
Ham's old news. This is a Battlehawks town now. That's from Big Tuft.
It can be both. They play at different times. I
The
don't
shot
begrudge-
of him and Pronger, people were noting that Hamm looked really small. Now, Pronger's really tall.
Yeah.
But I don't think Hamm is short, is he?
Hell no.
But didn't the photo, maybe it was just an odd angle. Pronger did appear to be Yao Ming.
He's like
standing-
6'6", though.
Yeah,
I know,
that's the
but-
core issue.
I know.
Jon
but
Hamm's 6'1".
But it made it look like Jon Hamm was about 5 foot, the picture. All right, we'll get him on to talk about his love of the Battlehawks. Okay,
Nice.
let's see. Where else?
Surprise guest.
Golf, you guys up for a quick quiz question?
I'm taking questions. Doug is too.
What member of the field, so he's in the field this year, has the lowest career scoring average of any player in Masters history? You have to play 25 rounds, minimum of 25 rounds.
Boy, Martin with a trivia question.
It wouldn't be someone totally off the map. It would have to be somebody, for you to ask the question, someone you'd be like, wow, really?
That's a nice read. That's a nice read.
At least 25 rounds. So probably looking if they've had a low scoring average. It means
Trying to figure out why Martin would ask the question. That's how I'm going to try to get the answer. But maybe now you're giving off a read that's not the reason.
I was just on
because I was going to go with Xander because of Jackson's saying he wasn't going to release his play until Wednesday.
Like thinking that I went and looked up Xander.
Right,
No,
and then Jackson released his play.
To be fair, I was on a page earlier with the favorites to win, and it kind of ranks them all top to bottom. Just, handful of names. Some are former winners, but it's been a while.
Okay.
25 rounds.
10. It's
been a while. What happened to this guy? He was so good.
Sergio?
Jordan Spieth.
Jordan Spieth is
Jordan
the answer.
Spieth. I think I might have gotten home had you, for whatever reason, that's just his course.
His career scoring average is 70.98, lowest of any player in Masters history, with at least 25 rounds played. Isn't that
plus
surprising?
4,500, Doug, if you want to throw a taste on that.
I'm just kind of surprised. They said top 5 in half of his 12 Masters starts.
Well, Nicholas had a lot of success there. I wonder what his.
Isn't that hard to believe?
Yeah.
It's according to ESPN.com.
But that's the list of the players in the field. Nicholas will. I thought that's what you said. Players in the field.
According to this,
ever?
It says Spieth's career scoring average, 70.98, is the lowest of any player in Masters history with at least 25 rounds played. Isn't that surprising? That's according to ESPN.com.
Are you still talking Masters?
Leave us alone.
Show me you're a rich a-hole by talking golf. That's from the 618.
Oh. And he put that in capital letters.
He did, yeah. You see it right there.
You have to be rich to play golf? I don't think so.
You want to talk about golf?
Okay. It helps for sure.
Doug, how will you spend the 4 days? Will you just tell the family, leave me alone?
No. That's a shot at what I told my wife. No. And then I said, I'm playing in this two-man event on Wednesday. And my wife said, so that means you're unavailable Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I said, that's right. God, it's just got to be a delight to be married to me.
Yeah. And then you pointed outside and said, hey, woman, that lawn's not going to cut itself.
That's right.
And keep the sandwiches coming. And check out that spot on the roof.
She's on the roof.
Guys, what's a better tradition, the Masters or Tuesday night UFL? That's from the unknown DJ.
Will you really sit there for 4 or 5 hours watching the Masters every day?
I love it. I get sad when it's over.
Really?
No. I love it. Oh, and the forecast in Augusta, Doug.
What is it?
Glorious.
Is it?
Oh, good. I hate when it's a rainy week there. It cuts into all of it. A tradition unlike any other, Doug.
Okay.
Did you say that, or did Jim Nantz?
I think Jim Nantz.
1986, and they said, I saw that little blurb that Augusta has a patent on that, but Nantz doesn't get any of the royalties.
Oh. Doug, what are your thoughts on Rory's dinner being the most expensive menu featuring seared bacon wrap dates, yellowfin tuna carpaccio, foie gras, Wagyu, and sticky toffee pudding? That's from Bobby Big Wheels.
I'm not interested in the pudding that they're having for this dinner. I really am not. I don't have time to be interested in what flavor pudding they've decided on.
I think it's more of the British pudding, which is more of a cake than it is like an actual pudding. We read the Rory Masters menu when it came out.
I believe so.
Yeah. It sounds delicious.
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely. Foie gras. Duck liver pate.
Ooh.
Oh, look at this. Michael Mahoney, owner of Roof Restore, just texted me and said, tell your wife we got the roof covered. She can watch the Masters, too.
No.
How about that?
Now
Look
she
at
gets
that.
to
She needs to get up there. She needs to get up there and inspect it first, so she can guide the other guys exactly
what if she
where to
came
go.
downstairs? Oh, honey, I got the roof fixed. I got the lawn. There's got to be dishes or something. Get back up there.
I would love it if the family gathered round the hearth to watch together.
Would you?
I would love it. Why, yes, of course I would. It's a family tradition.
But no
in South St.
talking.
Louis. But no talking. It goes without saying. Michael Mahoney's business is Roof Restore, and they're online at notanewroof.com. We are in storm season. And if you deal with a storm-damaged roof, notanewroof.com. And Michael just texted me, tell Doug we do free inspections, too. So there you go.
Okay.
How about that? It's notanewroof.com. roofrestore.com. That's Roof Restore. We are in storm season here in the St. Louis area and will be for the next couple of months. Roof maintenance is now a regular part of home ownership. The days of waiting for a hailstorm and paying your deductible are over. Maybe you got some storm damage but don't need a replacement. Roof Restore works with insurance companies every single day to get roof tune-ups and rejuvenations covered repairs. It is Roof Restore at notanewroof.com. That's notanewroof.com. 9:10 in St. Louis. The program's called The Morning After. It is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. From the Stiefel Studios, Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne, Jackson Burkett with you. Send your emails in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Coming up on the Polos Plus dossier at 9:45. This is TMA. The final college basketball game is tonight, and FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost. Build a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout, or try live betting and jump in after tip-off. Best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Martin, what's your play?
I'm going to take Michigan and the over. 144.5 is what I'm seeing. I think they can win that.
Boy, yeah.
80 to 65 gets you 145. It's close, but I would go Michigan in the over.
There it is. The play's been released. It's FanDuel.com/local to claim your first profit boost and keep the action going from now till the big championship. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Doug, what do we have going on?
I don't know, but it's a nice little tune.
Papers?
Today's Merle Haggard's birthday.
Okay.
He would have been 89.
89.
It's TMA 101 ESPN, the program brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne, Jackson Burkett with you. And we broadcast from the Stiefel Studios here on the presentation, a presentation that welcomes you to call in at 314-974-0101. Callier and Thompson phone lines. Text into the Air Comfort Service. Text inbox 314-399-9646. And you can talk it over with other TMA listeners in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. That's on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Now, Doug, up to 6,770 subscribers.
Getting close.
And you're getting close to more gold bullion. Polo's Plus sponsor of the dossier. And on that dossier, we will have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, which reminds me, if you or someone you know is a wonderful graphic designer, we're looking to partner with Polo's Plus on this merch, but I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's not what they do either. So we want a designer to design our TMA merch. And if you're looking for just a little side job, email me at tmckernan@insidestl.com, TMCKERNAN @insidestl.com. Show me your wares. Do you like that? Watch this.
Show me your wares.
Show me your wares.
So you're going to want to see some of the things they've done in the past.
Show me your wares.
Okay.
The Blues are 3 points back of a playoff spot. Here they come. Robert Thomas with the hat trick last night, and the Blues win it. I mean, let me tell you something. That Holloway, Snipes, and Thomas line, forget about it. That thing's on a heater.
Yeah, I don't know how you can break that up. If you're watching the games like Steen and Army are, you're thinking, okay, if we're going to be good for the next couple of years, that's a pretty core group right there.
Yeah, I guess the only downside is you're taking probably your best 3 players and putting them all on the same line. Mm-hmm. It doesn't leave you a whole lot of firepower elsewhere. But if they're producing like they are now, yeah, you're sure going to want to keep them together.
And a year ago when Thomas went on the heater, it was after the Four Nations, and there was a theory that he was kind of ticked off, that he didn't make the Canadian team. So the key seems to be get 18 a little fired up, Doug, and then he plays better.
Okay.
So what if Armstrong, what did they say? We're going to give Neighbors the C? Just
no, don't do that to
just
him,
so
man.
they can make him mad forever.
I don't think you'd want to make him that mad.
Now I got Colorado in the building tomorrow night. Doug, another chance to feel like a playoff atmosphere.
Did you hear the Papers answering the phone? Could you hear that? Did that come out on the radio?
I think so.
Oh, I heard it.
He's a busy guy over there.
Okay.
Seems a little stressed today, doesn't he?
Well, he's got certain things earmarked.
Earmarked.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Burkett returning from the phone lines.
Hey, what happened over there?
I took a call.
I know,
somebody wanting to go private.
Let me tell you what it was. It was a 26-year-old Wash U student from Lower Manhattan pursuing an MBA and loves that the Blues are in the playoff mix this late in the season and wants to talk about this Tuesday night Battlehawks game.
It's a good guess. But instead, it's a middle-aged guy named Kurt.
Oh.
Kurt, you are on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Is this Chairman Kurt who's vacation?
Oh, the one that likes papers? Oh.
Yeah.
Different
Kurt, good morning. You are on 101 ESPN with Doug Vaughn.
Hey, good morning, fellas. I got a question about this. I got a ticket from the sportsbook at River City, and it's a 2-team parlay, right? And it pays plus 500 or plus 5-1, right? So I bet $100, so I should get back $600, right, Tim?
What,
Doug?
I don't know. I didn't follow that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Is this our guy that worked in the kitchen?
No, Casino Kurt.
Casino Kurt.
Casino Kurt.
Oh, yeah, it's stories from the casinos. That's right.
Well,
okay.
you probably know how it works better than we do.
Well, Tim's the gambler of you guys, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I have a problem.
All right, can we workshop that again? Let's go back, Kurt. Casino Kurt.
5-1 odds. You
On
put
what?
down $100, 2-team parlay.
Yeah, so you would receive $600 should you hit. What is the question, Casino Kurt?
They gave me back $5.99.50. They took 50 cents.
I think that's that's in Missouri. There might be a 50-cent tax on in-person bets. I'm not sure.
So this call's about 50 cents?
Yeah, I'm not 50 cents, but yes.
So you're
Sorry,
upset?
It's a ridiculous question, but I didn't realize they took 50 cents from every time you make a bet, a sports book.
What
bet.
did you win on? What was the wager?
What was your hit? That's a nice hit.
I had the St. Louis teams yesterday, the Cardinals
Doug.
and the Blues.
How about that? Look at
On
that.
the money line. On the money line.
Nicely done. Do you always just bet hometown teams, or were you really feeling it with the Blues going into the best team in the league and the Cardinals facing Cater Montero?
They've been hot, bud.
No, I'm aware, but I just was curious what your reasoning was. I'd tip my cap on the hit.
It was plus 175. I thought it was a good play, and then the Cardinals were plus 118. I wasn't too happy about, I wasn't feeling the Cardinals that much, but they had that rookie pitcher they were bringing up, but you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I feel your pain over this 50 cents that you thought you had coming.
Well, now I got instead of getting 6 $100 bills, I got to get like 4 20s and the 5 and 4 1s and 50 cents.
That hurts. That hurts a lot.
And Casino Kurt, for the listeners that aren't familiar with your work, remind them, meaning me, what do you do at the casino?
Oh, I used to be a dealer there. Remember, I'm not a dealer there anymore. But yeah. Remember that?
Bitch.
I had a couple stories for you, but yeah, I'd rather not get into those.
Okay, well, that's what we want to hear.
Those are the best calls. Those are the best calls.
Give us at least one good one.
No, I've already gave you a few of them. Remember the guy who hurled himself? The guy hurled at the blackjack table?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, no.
Well, could you maybe have
your normal casino stories, nothing major.
Maybe when you cashed in, since the change you've got now is bothering you, when you cashed in, had you given them 50 cents, they would have given you back 6 $100 bills.
If I brought him, I should have brought him in 50 pennies.
Yeah, that would teach him.
So, did you say take the Connecticut and over or Michigan and over?
I said Michigan in the over.
Marty, you've been on a year too.
But I don't want to be held low. Yeah, I got a one-day winning streak. I don't want to be held accountable for you if you're sideways over 50 cents. I don't really want you to risk anything based on my advice.
That was pretty good. I like that one.
Put that off. Thank you, Casino Kurt. Congratulations on the parlay.
Ted Drews and buy a.
Yeah, all right. Don't cut him off.
Papers finish him off.
I had a feeling that
rude.
I have a feeling that the landing gear wasn't going to come out of the chute there. So sometimes it's best ground air travel.
Jugs in D.C. not happy with the phone line. Stop taking calls from the 636.
No.
That's Jugs in D.C.
He's hardcore 314.
This guy must be an Illini fan. Get this moron off the air.
Oh.
If you work at a casino, answer your own questions, you moron. Take 50 cents with you and cash up, idiot. That's from Beer Cats, who is not happy with the Illini or Casino Kurt. And then Alan Dadeville said, man, I bet AI photos on Facebook are an absolute battle for Casino Kurt. That's Alan Dadeville.
I appreciate that Kurt understood. He had some self-awareness that it was a ridiculous question.
Because he called, it'd be Brad Underwood calling us, hey guys, real quick, a couple questions about Illinois basketball.
Right.
I'm like, no, you're
right.
calling from inside the building.
You think that could have been a humble brag? Hey, I just won $600, but they took 50 cents.
I actually think
he had material he wanted to get to, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, good for him.
This may be the worst call in the history of the show. Wow. I'd rather listen to Jackson break down Dunston checks in with Gareth than this simp.
Oh.
I have no doubt this guy's wife's cheating on him while he's at the casino.
Damn.
Doug, that's from the St. Charles Hermaphrodite.
I don't
Very
know.
detailed.
I'd be a
You
little
have
bit
no
of a
doubt about it.
How'd I catch a stray there, too?
So you and Gareth.
That was the Jason Alexander movie where yet again
was
in the
that
90s?
Matt LeBlanc, or was that a different movie?
No, that was for sure
involving a
Jason
monkey?
Alexander with a monkey. Like that was in the high times of, well, let's just put a star and a monkey together.
Worked for Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. But what was there was a Burt Reynolds movie with a monkey, wasn't
Clint
there?
Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
With an orangutan.
Every Which Way But Loose. And then there was some more.
I thought
Was it Clyde was the name of the
I think so.
orangutan?
Yeah. No, never mind.
Guys, the great James Carlton is on the same flight with me right now. I'm going to have to say hey and thank him for the low insurance rate. That's from the Crestwood Coyote. How about that? I guess it means James
He's going to Utah. He's going
that's
for
right.
his
He's got
golf
the golf
outing.
trip, and his buddy can't play with him because he's caddying in the Masters. How about stat with the Mid-Am winner. James Carlton's my insurance agent, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And that team in Webster Groves is incredible. I never knew just how great it would be to have the customer service that James and his team provide until I experienced it. And in addition to that, James has been doing this for nearly 2 decades, and he's never seen auto insurance rates drop like he has over the last few months. A 5-minute phone call could truly save you thousands of dollars. It is worth making that call. 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. Got the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day coming up at 9:45. That's the Polos Plus dossier. And like I said, if you're interested in a little side work and you're interested in some graphic design for TMA merchandise at tmastlshop.com, email me at tmckernan@insidestl.com. Doug, I'd like to see your wares.
My wares?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
What can you do?
Yeah.
Show me what you can do, boy.
As an artist. Okay.
T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. It's also where you can send emails for QFTA, and those usually go about 3 hours. And this past week, went through Jackson's dating apps.
So you might have to knock that out before the Masters begin. That could cut in. That could cut into the viewing time.
Or we could just watch the Masters together on the TMASTL YouTube channel and talk.
Yeah, like a live stream?
Yeah.
For the Thursday at the Masters?
Settle in. Doug, you want to join in?
No,
maybe we can just do it while the guys are on the range.
Pressed for time.
Oh, he's playing a right-to-left ball flight.
Live streaming on the range. Boy, that would be... Everyone would stop what they're doing and watch that.
Yeah.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com or email me, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Show me your wares. This is the morning after, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. It's the Mark Hanna Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour on 101 ESPN and the TMASTL YouTube channel.
Just say, Mama's going out tonight and she gonna have some fun. Mama's going out tonight. Hide your
Mama's going out tonight.
I don't wanna be mom, I just wanna be me.
Jackson, this is what you played before going to Tamat.
This
is another Chairman Kerr original.
Mama's going out tonight and
very sophisticated music.
Take a handful of chips, make
Is this Mozart?
I think it's about helmet nachos.
This is a song about helmet nachos?
Yep. Now we drizzle on some salsa, so technically that's a veggie. And Mama like it spicy, hit me with some of them peppies. Mama 4 beers deep, now she listening to Donda, making out with a guy in patios that drives a Honda. She's a Jeffco same, but a downtown
Oh,
sinner.
wow, this is localized. I didn't realize. Patios, Jeffco.
I'm rolling balls, I just discovered.
They should use this in that all-you-can-eat area.
Is there a music video? Is that what you're playing from?
No, not that I know.
Just a beat?
Yeah, the chairman sent this over to me.
This is the second song on the album that he's released?
He's got an album. He's got like the Thriller album.
Probably the second single.
Jackson says he's going to do a 2-part Movie Boy on the April 21st debut of the film Michael. And you think it's going to be the second coming of the Godfather?
The hottest of hot garbage. I'm so done with these music biopics. Dude, they've run their course so long ago.
But I think the worst film I have ever seen, and this is a take. I'll just double down on it. I'll double down on said. It's like LeBron James in Memphis. And now he's throwing Milwaukee in there too.
Yeah.
I'm doubling down. It is the Tiger Woods biopic from, I think it was done in 1998 by the great LeVar Burton. Doug, you know him from Reading Rainbow and an odd social media campaign to become the next host of Jeopardy after Alex Trebek passed. And I have no idea what the genesis of it was. This predated these music biopics that has Jackson and the team at Movie Boy furious. I think there is a chance the Michael Jackson biopic will be worse than the Tiger Woods one done a mere months after he won the Masters in '97. That's my sense as I saw commercials for it during the Final Four and over the weekend. And I think Movie Boy may need to do a 3-parter.
It's real sad. Antoine Fuqua was directing it. You remember him, Doug, from Training Day.
Oh, absolutely.
Equalizer films. Jafar Jackson, Michael Jackson's nephew, is portraying Michael.
King Jofi Jafar was Eddie Murphy's father in Coming to America. Doug, played by James Earl Jones.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, this is...
When you do a movie about a very famous person, it's hard to watch it and not think, wait a minute, that's not Michael Jackson.
Right. Especially someone as famous as.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a guy from 100 years ago when we didn't exactly know what he looked like, you can get away with it a little easier.
Or someone less famous, maybe publicly, but certainly did something like Oppenheimer from a few years ago. You know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
But if they did the Michael Jordan story, we'd say, no, that's not Michael Jordan.
So much so that Air, the movie about Michael Jordan's first sneaker with Nike, featured a Michael Jordan character that never shows face to avoid those issues.
He was shot behind a filter every time.
They just shot him from behind.
Don't say
The Tiger Woods story did get nominated for a Daytime Emmy.
LeVar Burton's film.
It's like Keith David played Earl Woods.
I'm trying to get you a Rotten Tomatoes.
Awful.
It was a TV movie, right? It was like a made-for-TV movie.
Maybe there are more than one. I don't know.
No, this is LeVar Burton as the director. A profile of the golfer Khalil Kane examines the private life and struggles with racism and cultural identity. The Tiger Woods story.
If memory serves, they had a shot of the gentleman playing Earl Woods in the jungles of Vietnam, Doug. Didn't look like the same attention and budget was paid to this as, say, Full Metal Jacket. And a tree nearly fell on him, and a gentleman pushed him out of the way. And the actor playing Earl Woods said, "Wow, you saved my life. What is your name?" And the gentleman said, "My name is Tiger." And then Earl said, "You know what? I am going to name my firstborn son after you, Tiger." And I thought, wow, this is a Jim Dandy.
It comes out in 98. He had been, he's 22 years old at the time?
It couldn't have been worse than Grown Ups 2.
What about Grown Ups 3, Doug? Can't wait.
God, they're not
Can't
making
wait.
that. Please don't.
You get all those stars together, Doug, and then later you say, "Oh, we need a script."
Yeah, how could there not be one funny line out of an entire movie with all these people?
Sitting in the theater a couple weeks ago for a different movie, and they were doing the previews, and there was actually a black screen. I just heard the hee, and I was like, "Oh boy, this is going to be brutal."
Is that when you became aware that this was coming?
No, I've
You've
heard.
Been waiting.
I've been.
Are you going to go to a special
tracking
screening?
This. I guess I'll have to see it, but I don't want to.
You and Gareth going to talk about this one?
How could you tell the story of Michael Jackson in 2 hours and 7 minutes? This is not even going to come close.
Do you think Emmanuel Lewis will play himself when he goes on the date with Michael Jackson?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Does the story
Who's going to play Bubbles?
Does the story even need to be told? Doesn't everybody know it?
No.
I mean, he was in the news for years, every day.
See, he'll have like a decent opening debut. He'll get panned like crazy by critics, and then no one will see it, and it'll do poorly.
What's the worst music biopic of recent years?
The Bruce Springsteen one with Jeremy Allen White was no good.
How about the Elton John one?
Terrible. Brutal.
Oh, Rocket Man?
Yeah,
I never saw it.
It's in a dark place right
hated
now.
it.
Wow.
Hated it. Oh, Elvis. Dreadful.
Dreadful.
Really? You didn't like Elvis? I thought Elvis was okay.
Reprehensible. No.
Reprehensible.
That was okay.
Baz Luhrmann is just not my speed.
Clip that off.
Not my tempo.
What?
Baz Luhrmann, the guy who made it.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think it was bad.
Oh, it's just awful. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
I thought it was terrible.
You didn't like Tom Hanks in there.
Brutal. Just brutal. I love
Rotten
Austin Butler.
Tomatoes, 77% on Elvis.
Okay.
Popometer.
Papers pays no attention. I want you to know
Popcorn
that.
meter, 94.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm just saying that the audience seemed to enjoy it.
That's fine.
Like Doug.
The music is fine, but
What was the best? Walk the Line?
Love Walk the Line. Really enjoyed Chalamet as Bob Dylan. Thought that was really good. Enjoyed that. But yeah, by and large, music biopics, no good.
Guys, do you think Johnny Sins will play Tim in his biopic? That's from MD 2020. I guess.
Statham is always the person that they say, but I feel like...
Statham or Johnny Sins?
They're going to make a biopic about you? Billy Barney's dead, I guess.
Oh, you mother...
Sorry.
God bless America.
Sorry.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. For our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, it is coming up in a matter of mere moments, Sharon. And Clayton's not happy with you, Jackson. What are you talking about? Bohemian Rhapsody was great.
Not to me.
Oh!
Not for me. Didn't love that
You've
one.
got higher standards.
That's not true. I just like what I like, and I did not like the Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't think that Rami Malek deserved the Oscar for it. It was not great. But that's just me personally.
Oh, I kind of like that one too, though.
Just because I don't like something doesn't mean you shouldn't like it. I don't have to like it.
What's love got to do
like
with
some
it?
things.
The Tina Turner
Yeah, what
story.
about that?
I don't know if I saw that one.
97%.
I don't know if I saw that.
Angela Bassett. Was Lawrence Fishburne in that? Was Lawrence Fishburne?
Sounds right. Yeah, he's probably Ike Turner. What's love got to do with it?
I don't know if I saw that one. I'll check it out, though. I'm open. I mean, I'm open to liking these things. It's just I see them and I call it how I sees it.
Behind the Candelabra, 2013.
Oh, boy. Matt Damon and Michael Douglas.
It's a Ken Strode's favorite.
94% critics.
Really?
Affectionate without sacrificing honesty. Behind the Candelabra.
Pish posh. I went on a date with a little guy who looked a bit like Emmanuel Lewis at the Afton Dairy Queen, and no one's writing a biopic about me. Doug, that's from Shrimply Pibbles.
I've been to that Afton Dairy Queen.
Did you see Shrimply Pibbles and Emmanuel Lewis there?
I did not.
He played the role of Webster. His mother's name was Ma'am.
Okay.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com because that Design Air Heating and Cooling email today is coming your way next here on this program. Doug, tell us about Design Air and Seth Goldcamp and his team, and I know you like the bold and daring Adam.
Well, he's just one of many in their stable of handsome repairmen. Don't forget the rugged Joe. He may or may not bring joy with him. We're not sure. There's the dashing Steve, the bold and daring Adam. All of them can fix your furnace or your air conditioner just fine. Try not to pay attention to what they look like. Just focus on what they're doing for your home and how comfortable they're going to make it. When it comes to heating and cooling, you need to trust the name that's been around a lot longer than all of us. That is Design Air Heating and Cooling, proudly serving the area since 1904. 1904. And not just another HVAC company, also the longest running sponsor on TMA, and we certainly appreciate that. Seth Goldcamp, fourth generation family member running the business. At Design Air, they believe in honest work. You're never going to be sold something that you don't need. So whether you're dealing with the St. Louis cold or the summer heat, they have got your back with dependable service and no pressure solutions. They really do outstanding work. Visit designairservice.com. Schedule your service today. Design Air, comfort you can count on since 1904. And also, Design Air brings the heat.
Sick. Mark Hanna, sponsor of the 9 o'clock hour online at evergreen-ws.com. Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. And coming up in this 9 o'clock hour is the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day here on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel.
This is Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Cardinals pick up a win last night in Detroit. They now head to our nation's capital to take on the Nationals. Andre Plante on the mound tonight with a 5:45 p.m. first pitch. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
Baz Luhrmann is not Jackson's jam.
Nope, never has been.
It's Team A101 ESPN. Mark Hanna sponsor the 9 o'clock hour. He's online at Evergreen Wealth Strategies, evergreen-ws.com. It's McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you. Jackson Burkett on the ones and twos. Chairman Kurt is vacationing at Jackson's parents' place in the Hamptons. And we have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day coming up here on the Polos Plus dossier. Jackson, have you been able to filter while you're over there running the board and answering questions and updating people's air comfort service text inbox name? You're doing it all. You get the game ball.
Hey, thanks, man. Yes, the emails have been filtered. I would not say it's a heavy batch.
No.
A lot didn't make it through, is what I saw.
One didn't make it through.
No, I saw him, and I was like, ooh, but it did. What was the problem with him?
Vile, probably.
FCC.
If you had a knife in your back or a blank love and that
blank love,
sweet plump butt of yours.
Oh,
okay,
block that one. Block that one.
Probably shouldn't. I had to kind of edit there even. So
it's starting to get the picture.
And if it was a heavier day than it is today, I would certainly have blocked him out. But, I thought about it for a while.
You block him.
Well, I don't need to block him. Just, try again tomorrow.
It's time for the Designer Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Oh, well, we don't even need music.
Okay. It's live.
Morning, boys. Look, I get it, guys. I'm not as cool as the wacko. I don't have a silver tongue like Arbor Day, and I'm not fighting battles across the text line like Carlos Spiceweiner and Sharon from Clayton. But I take umbrage when I share pertinent info for Douglas Elvin Vaughn on Friday's show to more than double his bullion hoard, which would have funded the Vaughn Index and kept his descendants swimming in boiled, unseasoned chicken, broccoli, and peanut butter and mayo sandwiches for 1,000 years. And you withhold said info. Hell, he could have fixed that damn chandelier of his, but you guys showed your hand to me on Friday. This show has used Doug's hot takes, bravado, and 60-plus years of television knowledge to become the 22nd biggest show in the country, and you can't afford to lose him. So blink twice, Doug, if they have you shackled to the dais, and clap twice if you need help. We're here for you, Doug. Have a great day, boys. It's the Heiser House Hooligan. What's he talking about?
Heiser House Hooligan. I don't know what advice he gave me.
Jackson, do you know what he's talking about?
No idea.
He seems concerned you're here against your will, Doug.
Well, that could be. Heiser House Hooligan.
Hello. I simply walked up to him and said, I'll give you the moon and the stars if you give me Uranus.
Oh.
Doug shuddered, his knees weakened. I couldn't tell if this was from confusion or if his legs were struggling to support the rush of blood to his warrior.
How did that get through? How did that get through?
It doesn't get better. So.
Oh, you know what happened, Doug?
Who was it?
It's like it's about to get deleted live in front of me.
Listener to be named later. Not good.
Wow.
My bad.
Just got deleted. I just saw it get deleted.
Sometimes I sneak little words.
Well, you were busy doing the show notes.
Sentence.
Timmy was doing the show notes, so he couldn't possibly. He was screening calls. We had one named Kurt.
You're playing a dangerous game over there, Kilcoyne.
Clip that off.
Listener to be named later just got himself suspended. Thank you, appliance discounters.
Yeah, it's Johnny
4 years
Bradley.
suspension, logule, 2 days, and we're gonna go ahead and put you on notice.
So you did filter the emails?
I gave the one.
And that's what we got, and that got through.
Well,
My bad.
Are there any
we all
left?
make mistakes. Yeah, one more.
Morning, John. I used to think Shooter McGavin was the bad guy in Happy Gilmore, but now I'm aligning myself with him. The reason is the anointing of Jason Kelsey to the Masters broadcast booth for nothing more than the fact that he's fat and quote-unquote funny. He looks like your average Warren County Muni course player and has the golf sense of a child. Can we please stop the barstoolification of sports media and shove these cringe influencers back into the GNC stores from whence they came? I want an older Irish guy with a thick brogue calling golf, not the drunk guy from the bar with the speaker and shots of Fireball in his cart. Happy Easter and God bless America. That's from Mongo. Is that they're calling? They're calling it the bar stoolification of sports media? Is that I've never heard that term, Jackson.
Pretty good description.
I like that.
You like that? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So for a few years we had the Gus Johnson shouting thing, and now we have the bar stoolification of sports media. What's next?
I
What's
guess if
next?
that's just sports media becoming more casual, I don't necessarily think that that's an all-encompassing bad thing.
I mean, he's doing the par 3.
Right.
He's not.
It's not going to be on the broadcast next to Jim Nantz.
I mean, Doug, they chased Gary McCord out of there on CBS. I can't imagine that the Masters would have Jason Kelsey on the court.
Why, is he really that funny?
You heard him laughing.
He's got
he
personality.
Laughing or Travis? Who's doing all the laughing?
Jason was doing most of the laughing. Well,
Right, Jon
Travis
Hamm.
likes to say, all right now. And he kind of spams that sometimes. But having said that, I think Jason has a lot of personality. I would say that they're, if they were a stock, they've kind of cooled.
The Kelsey brothers?
If we're doing Stiefel market moves.
Make market moves.
I would say that the Kelsey, certainly Jason's, right when he retired, was super high. Even got like a late night show on ESPN that they tried out.
Yeah. Maybe overplayed the hand a little bit.
I think they're just trying to find exactly what he's like great at.
Did a bunch of commercials too.
Because he is good. Like he's obviously got a lot of personality.
How about on Monday Night Countdown? How about on the football vehicle shows? That makes perfect sense.
Right. I think they're trying. I think they're
forcing it a little bit to say we need Jason Kelsey at the Masters.
I think they likely paid him a lot of money, and they're trying to use him.
I was wondering if it was a contractual situation where they're like, "Oh boy, we've got him under contract. We've got to use him.
Right.
Let's try this."
I think it's a real trial and error. Like whereas they fit best, they did the late night show thing. That didn't necessarily work out.
So that's done.
I don't know if they're coming back with a second season of it.
So it started.
Oh yeah, they did a whole run of it. I didn't watch a lick of it, to be honest.
You were at Tam Ave.
Yeah, I mean, late night, like, it's hard enough to get people to watch SNL, let alone late night, like kind of a sports podcast live. I don't know. I like trying new things.
I think the best deal they had was Chris Connolly, who came from Rolling Stone, and they gave him that up close show, and he was going to interview the L.A. guests that they used to have with Roy Firestone back in the day, and then I think it was Gary Miller. And anyway, but Chris Connolly then went away, but about once a year he would do like one of those big essays, and I just felt like he was on the payroll, and they made him do something once a year.
That's a pretty good gig if you can get it.
Deal.
Yeah.
Didn't it appear that he would just pop up out of nowhere, and you're like, Chris Connolly is still on the ESPN payroll? But I bet you anything, yes, that they've got Kelsey, or his contract states he has a certain amount of appearances that they provide. I don't.
It seems like his big claim to fame is being the brother to Travis.
I mean, he was a really good player, too.
He's HOF.
Yeah.
But media-wise.
His wife's podcast is very popular.
That's still popular?
Mm-hmm.
You listen to him?
No.
So that stock hasn't.
Well, I
didn't know if
I don't listen to.
Elaborate on
I don't know. I don't listen to most podcasts.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
what's your Mount Rushmore
of podcasts?
Right.
This one.
About that, Doug?
Oh, well, that was nice to hear.
Tim McKernan Show.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Movie Boy.
Movie Boy's third. I was just.
And then a tie. And then a tie between Superacy and the Spread Zone.
Gosh, was that
Is the Hubbard?
Sorry, I'm a company man.
Hold on, is the Hubbard employee of the quarter been named yet? Because it
it's
feels
your
like
time to be the rock star of the quarter.
That's right.
Feels like here we are, early April. We've just completed a quarter, and I haven't seen an update on the Hubbard employee of the quarter.
Yep,
but Jason,
I think it's papers time,
or whatever his name is, Jackson just made a strong play.
Yeah.
What do you want, a better parking spot?
I like where I park.
Never mind.
Was that the end of the emails?
Oh, okay, so we had two candidates.
Well, we had 3,
2.5.
and then I started reading the third, and it became, Doug, as they say on Twitter when they want to take you out, problematic.
Yeah, it did. So we're done with that now.
I think that's the
We're done.
That's concluded.
I'll make a statement. If your email's featuring something about yogurt, probably pull that out of there.
In general.
Just get rid of that. It's almost always an automatic disqualifier.
Why do they think they can get away with that stuff?
It's all about testing limits. With children, they always try to test the limits, and you got to be the one to draw the line. Discipline is the thing.
I see.
And so I get it.
Doug, they call it a late night show with Jason Kelsey was not renewed. That's from the 314.
There we go.
Okay.
Here is the text I sent in 9 times on Friday. Morning, boys. Doug, put all your gold bullion on Connor Griffin to have 2 total bases. It's at plus 142, more than double your hoard with the Phenom rookie for Pittsburgh today at their home opener. It's from the Heiser House Hooligan.
So the email
that's what he was
a
saying.
follow-up to the text. God, it's hard to pay attention to all this.
Yeah.
So that email, Doug.
They need to realize that we get a lot
Did we read that
of
on the
text.
Did they read that? Did we read that?
I don't remember it.
Can't remember anything.
There's another guy saying that he told us that Illinois was going to lose by 10.
Everybody's an expert now in hindsight. I told you. Stop it.
Is Kurt back tomorrow, Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay, we miss you. That's all.
Where have
Were you
I been?
busy?
It feels like the show's falling apart.
I feel like I haven't stopped flapping my gums since the beginning of the program.
You just a little preoccupied. That's
I got
all.
a lot of work to do.
I understand. That's what I said. Preoccupied. You made my point. You're a little preoccupied, and I miss you. That's all. Welcome back tomorrow.
I appreciate being missed.
Okay.
Chairman Steve says, I don't listen to podcasts because it's a reminder of the failure of my generation in raising this current generation. We gave them too much freedom to be who they want to be and treated them equal to us as adults. And now this is what we get. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood. Jackson, your response.
You get one podcast after the next.
Goofy text. Most, I would assume the top podcasters are older than me, certainly. Like Joe Rogan, he wouldn't be. He's probably the same age as Chairman Steve.
Doug, how old is Joe Rogan? He's been in studio with us.
I'd say.
I'm going to go 55. That's my guess on
Who,
Joe
Rogan?
Rogan.
I think he's older than that.
58.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily agree with it. I would say if you're a bunch of people trying to become podcasters, that could be interesting. But
I'm trying to find the top sports podcast. Still Bill Simmons.
Because Pardon My Take would be my guess. Bill
Pardon
Simmons.
My Take is number 2.
Bill Simmons is 1?
Bill Simmons podcast, number 1.
And we're 3?
Pardon My Take, number 2.
3 or 4
I've tried
now.
that one. I can't. Maybe I'm too old.
Which one?
The Pardon My Take.
yeah,
It works. They're obviously huge.
more similar
Congrats.
to how we do it.
Congrats to them.
Yeah.
It's working for them. The Dan Levitard show is 3rd. It is a recent Apple podcast ranking.
Where's Nevin Shapiro?
I think he peaks during the football season.
He's still probably talking about Mario Cristobal. Double Coverage podcast is 4th. Not familiar. Collector Nation. Rosillo is 6th.
How about Spittin' Chicklets?
12.
I've got him in this list. It's number 10.
Really? I got him at 12.
What do you have, AP and coaches over there?
I got Apple up.
Martin, what do you have?
Oh, it says... No, it says it's something called...
Bill's podcast rankings.
It says Refonic.com, but it says Apple Podcast, Sports Podcast, Apple Podcast, United States. That's the ranking in front of me. The Lovable Reunion is a sports podcast?
Not familiar with it. What is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, it's number 8. I've got New Heights with Jason and Travis as number 9, so they're still popular.
Bill Simmons might be number 1 now, but it's only a matter of time until Nevin Shapiro's revenue negative pod gets up there. That's from Al in Dadeville. It's revenue negative.
I would suspect most podcasts are, aren't they?
Well, I would imagine they're mostly 0.
Yeah.
And I would say 99% of podcast revenue is 0.
Well, they may have had to buy some equipment.
Okay.
And they never made the money.
So if we're talking about the P&L, it's upside down, but the revenue, 0.
And that hurts because the equipment cost you about $250.
You do one for maybe a couple of weeks and go, oh, the hell with it.
Yeah. That's no good.
Down.
I'll tell you
On
what.
hiatus.
Guys in Boston, Felger and Maserati, 38th, and that's a local radio show.
How about that?
How about that? There's hope.
This is from Bill's podcast, right?
No, Papers, you want to come look at this?
No,
It's
I'm just saying that these
official.
podcasts, the rankings fluctuate real often, I would say.
Does it say how many listeners they're getting?
No.
I don't think I have that in front of me.
It does not.
But that Kelsey thing was highly produced. A lot of weep, weep, bing, ding, a lot of noise.
Francesa at 61.
Okay.
Is he really?
Yep.
Yes! Pat Rivers.
Yep.
We had to have given it a boost. But then Rogan's just like, hey, man, what's going on? Sit down. Yeah, put your headphones on. And it's the exact opposite of produced, highly produced. You got to go take a leak? Yeah, take a leak, man. Whatever. There are no edits.
Time to DFA the Heiser House hooligan, hitting well under the Mendoza line at being funny. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener. He's now taking on the overbearing sports dad, and he's taking on the Heiser House hooligan, Carlos Spicy Wiener. Guys, you have to see what's going on in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat.
What?
I don't know. I've been in the Air Comfort Service text inbox. Now I got to see this. Iggy is advertising his Patreon. Doug, it's $4.99 a month. I don't think that's what the... let's see. I don't know what's going on. I don't see anything of note. Scorsese and Ryan Krause are fighting? Okay. Doug, you got to see it.
Scorsese and Ron Krause are at it? I don't know either one of them. And yet they're loggerheads. And we're supposed to shut down the show and see what they've written to each other?
I thought I was going to see a lot more than when I went in there. Please bring it to our attention what we need to see in there. Change your podcast name to Blondie and Herb's Hog, and that will rocket to the top of the popular podcast. That's from Morrison Woods Wacko.
I wouldn't think that would hurt.
Doug, Nevin's cutting checks to Star Wars to license the sound effects that no one asked for. That puts the pod in the red. That's Al in Dadeville.
I imagine a lot of them are in the red.
We had every opportunity to have Nevin on the show. We were right there, spring training, just down the road.
John Jay's facial reaction was the tell.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go up to the Cardinals meeting and be like, hey, can we bring this former fraudster onto the grounds here to interview him?
I brought it up a second time, and John Jay just shook his head. Like,
I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe Dr. Brandon Pryor's doing what he's doing on Manchester in Baldwin. It's 100 West Dental, 100 West Dental.com. I recognize it. Many people say, I just don't want to go to the dentist's office. I get it. I understand it. But dental health can impact the rest of your body's health. Get to know Dr. Pryor at 100 West Dental, complex rehabilitative dentistry, and giving you the ability to chew and smile back to 100%. Most dentists charge you $500 just to find out what's wrong. Not Dr. Pryor. And this is for the TMA audience only. Dr. Pryor is waiving the cost of a 3D scan and implant consultation, and that's a $450 value on the house just to see if you're a good candidate. Get your smile back and your life back. Call 100 West Dental at 636-585-0100 or visit 100westdental.com to schedule right from your phone and tell them I sent you for a complimentary implant consult. It is 10:07 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Martin has onboarding. Doug, Jackson and I have the 10 o'clock hour brought to you by Design Air Heating and Cooling. Coming up, this is TMA 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. Mark Morrison. I did it again, didn't he? 97, right?
I don't know the years, Tim.
I guess I'll say 96 on the off chance it's 95 because I know it's not 98. That's my reasoning. But if I had to bet on a year specifically, I'd say 97.
Would
but I'll
you?
say 96 to get me 97 and 95 on the off chance that he released it early and it didn't take off, kind of like how fashion doesn't get to St. Louis for a couple years. Jackson?
March of 96.
Okay. Dang. I was kind of dancing with the devil there, huh?
Yeah, you were.
It's fun, though. Isn't it fun?
It's not that much fun, really.
Never dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. Who said it and what film? Go.
I don't know.
Jackson, movie boy.
Never Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight. It was referenced in Django, but I know that's not the film it's from.
Nice.
Good, Bad, and Ugly?
No. Well, I mean, it could be, but I'm thinking of Batman with Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
played
you're
the
right.
Joker.
Yeah, you're right.
Michael Keaton's Batman, not George Clooney's with his nipples.
This town
he
needs
brought
enema.
nipples to the part?
Yes, George Clooney had bat nipples.
Oh!
In the worst Batman movie ever made. Tough.
I just can't watch that stuff. I just
Joel
can't.
Schumacher.
I know they're popular. I just can't get
Oh, The Dark Knight is 10 out of 10. That's the one with Heath Ledger, Doug.
Okay.
227 friends are talking it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat here on the morning after 101 ESPN. Martin head-to-head to onboarding. Jackson, Doug, and I are going to bring just red-hot heat here as the Blues have mounted a Sunday charge in early April. Could we be on the verge of a shocking return to the Stanley Cup playoffs if the Blues rattle off another winning streak? Why, it would have to be 8 straight, most likely, in order to do it, and they'll have to do it by beating the Colorado Avalanche once again tomorrow to continue this streak that began Friday in Anaheim. Robert Thomas with the hat trick. Jackson, do we have Jim Montgomery, Robert Thomas, Darnell Coles? Any would do.
Give me a moment.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, it's a shame they don't get to play in the last 6 games the teams that they're fighting with for that wild card spot.
They get to play the Penguins.
They had that this last week and didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah. Oh, Adam Gaudette in San Jose. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Just give me a point. Just give me a point.
Mm-hmm.
God bless America. The bad start in San Jose.
Yeah. Well,
because I'm telling you, listen, I don't know if you can, I mean, realistically, you're going to beat the Avalanche out of 7. I know they only won last night. I know. Best of 7. It's like what Josh Schertz said about Michigan. We're not going to beat them in a best of 7. One game? Isn't that what Herb Brooks said in Miracle, Kurt Russell?
Yeah. If we played them 10 times, they might beat us 9. But not tonight.
Nice.
Not this one.
Here's Jim Montgomery on Robert Thomas.
Oh, he was terrific. I mean, right from his first shift, he had the puck on his stick. He scored the 3 goals, but he made about 6 high-end passes that I'm sitting on the bench, and I don't even see the lanes that he sees going full speed. So he was really good, but he was really good like on the PK too, you know, and that line has been doing a lot of good for us.
Yes, it has.
That's a hell of a line.
It is. It's a great starting point. They need to build another one like that. Maybe they've got a piece in Kyrou. You get 2 offensive lines like that, then you got something.
Doug, it was the Islander blown loss. Kyrou's poor defense costs a point. Send it from the 3 and 4.
How about the 2 games where they were up 4-0 and they lost?
Voice the text I just read. Yeah, well, you can go back to Detroit. Beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Good to see the Red Wings are flopping around, though. Pick gets better.
If I said Ichiro, are you no doubt first ballot?
In what sport?
Oh, gosh. I would say baseball. What sport?
Why not, Tim? A good goalie can change everything. Hofer's been on a heater. That's from the closeted beatnik.
Oh, well, you just want a chance. I'd give him very little chance to beat Colorado in a series.
Listen, I want to see it.
But you just want a chance.
Exactly right. And if you would say, because this has been something that Joey Vitale's talked about on our program, Chris Kerber talked about it earlier this morning. You can go back and podcast it via the Schaefer Door Company podcast. the pressure that they had really for the first time last Monday against San Jose, and for about the first half of that game, they played poorly. And then they mounted the charge, and they were in the mix, and then the goal with less than 30 seconds left got them. They'd be playing with no pressure if they got there and played the Avalanche in the first round. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Am I saying no chance? Absolutely not. I'm just recognizing that it's not real likely. So for fans who are irritated, like Harrison's brother Master, that they're even winning games because it hurts their draft position, I also understand that. And I, at the beginning of the month of March, so a month ago, was going, oh, why are they winning games? This sucks. But here we are. And now that they're here, they'll bet you Red Ryder I'll be pulling for them tomorrow night. The problem is the fact that these teams are playing each other, and so they're automatically going to pick up points.
Yeah.
That's your core issue. And there aren't two spots. Utah's going to get a spot. And so when you got Seattle and Winnipeg playing tonight, you got the Sharks hosting the Blackhawks, and I'd have to think that San Jose, although they're only minus 170, and then the main one is Nashville and Los Angeles. Somebody's getting 2 points. If that's a 3-point game, it's an even bigger problem. Blues win out.
Yeah.
I think they get in.
Probably would. That's a tall order.
You're a tall drink of water. I like it.
Hello, Mike.
What's happening? What's up? Let's go.
Okay. I'm here.
Let's go.
Don't rush it.
I'm here.
You got to go. Let's go. Talk. Hello?
Mike?
Yes, go. Go talk.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Oh, God.
Hello?
Mike?
Yes, go. Would you start speaking?
Yes, I will.
I apologize that we had to get a Reader's Digest version, but we didn't have a lot of time. Leo in Jersey, what's up, Leo?
I assume Leo started talking.
I hope he would learn his lesson from the previous caller. That when you're on with the goat, you better hustle.
You got to hit the hole.
The nervous laugh the guy has, right?
It's like I just had a question about the Yankees infield.
Mike did not like that.
Doug, the Predators and Kings both have 81 points. They play tonight no matter what. One of them is going to have 83, which means the Blues will wake up tomorrow 5 points back. The Shacks are sitting at 79. They got the Blackhawks tonight. They could very well be at 81. Winnipeg is taking on the Kraken. And if Winnipeg were to win, they would leapfrog the Blues and go to 80 points. And no matter what, then at that point, the Blues are sitting there tied for the last spot of those pursuing the wild card, unless you want to include Calgary in there, which mathematically is still alive at 72 points.
I don't like their chances.
Are they in the Central?
Oh, no. Not again. Calgary is given 0% chance to make the playoffs, for the record.
I don't think that's going to work.
Which I actually think is mathematically correct, because they cannot catch the teams since they will be playing each other.
Yeah. Well, whoever wins tonight between Nashville and L.A., they will be 5 points ahead of the Blues, but the Blues will have a game in hand on either of those teams.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And the Blues do have that tiebreaker. Should it come down to that, the Blues are looking good with the tiebreaker.
The beautiful thing about the position the Blues put themselves in is that if they get in, we get to watch playoff hockey, and if they don't get in, we still probably end up with a top 5, top 10 pick. That's from Tim's Offshore Bookie.
Yeah. Well, there's very few sporting events that are more exciting to watch than playoff hockey.
What about on the range today at the Masters?
Yeah.
But
that one, not even close. So even if you play 4 against Colorado and you lose all 4, that's still 4 nights of good entertainment.
I beg to differ. The Avalanche are playing without Makar, and even if he comes back in time for the playoffs, he still won't be 100%. The Blues can beat them in a 7-game series. That's from Sharon and Clayton.
Okay. Well, the way the Blues have played since the Olympics, I think they could give anybody a tussle.
See, I'm going to try hard not to call you clueless.
Oh, sorry, Tony. They're just playing real well right now.
That's the thing.
Yeah, they wouldn't roll over for anybody.
That's the thing.
There have been top seeds knocked out in round 1 before. Would be the first time.
CBJ got TBL 2019. Am I right on that?
I don't know the years, but
Yeah.
I remember the teams.
8-1.
You know that?
I remember that.
Look at Peter Puck over there, huh?
Right. You're really saying that in a matter-of-fact way, too.
I remember that.
Okay.
Look at Peter Puck over there, huh?
That's about all I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember much.
If you don't remember this show, you can go back and podcast it courtesy of Jason Gossrow and Schaefer Door Company. Doug, Schaefer Door Company sponsor the podcast.
The only company you need to know if you have any kind of problem with your garage door. Schaefer Door will be right out there to get you fixed up. Been to my house a couple of times. They just do fantastic work. Jason Gossrow runs that show, and he's got a team of professionals that can handle anything you might throw at them when it's related to garage doors. They service all kinds of garage doors, and they do new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and versatile. Schaefer has a special Monday morning standby service for doors that break over the weekend. I suspect they were busy today. Schaefer is spelled with only one F, Schaefer. There are other couple businesses in town where Schaefer has two Fs. Forget that. They don't give an F at Schaefer Door. They just have one.
Wow.
Schaefer. And the website is schaeferdoor.com. Also, if you run a business or warehouse, have those big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in those types of jobs as well. No business, or no job, rather, is too big for this business, or it's small enough that when you call, there's going to be an actual person pick up on the phone and talk with you. The business has multiple family members working there, and their service techs not commission-based, so they're not going to try to sell you a whole new door if you don't need it. Again, the website, schaeferdoor.com. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
There it is, Schaefer Door Company, longtime sponsor here of The Morning After and sponsor of the podcast on 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, and Jackson Burkett with you. Martin's at onboarding. Chairman Kurt's vacationing at Jackson's parents' place in the Hamptons. We're broadcasting from the Stiefel Studios. This is 101 ESPN. Shakira, 2006. Is she from Barranquilla?
I don't know where
Colombia?
she's from, Tim. I don't know.
And she was married to a soccer player?
Yeah. Gerald Piqué.
And then he
Gerard?
went on Tinder?
I remember that being a story. Yeah, she was married to Gerald Piqué from 2010 to 2022.
Until he went on Tinder.
I don't know about the former Barcelona defenseman, but
would a big-time Barcelona soccer player have to go on Tinder?
Who's currently married, who was at the time married to Shakira? No.
Probably a bad idea.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Like he thought only one or two people would recognize him?
Amid the allegations of infidelity on Piqué's part, the couple confirmed in a joint statement that they were separating in June 2022. That's from Wikipedia.
Okay.
Shakira and Doug's hips don't lie. My pant tent, ooh rah rah. 618.
Thoughts, Doug?
My pant tent, ooh rah rah.
What's that supposed to mean?
Do your hips lie?
No, and his ass won't quit either.
I just looked up and Get Up. Is Chuck Todd on Get Up?
Is he changing names again?
Now there's just a boy on there.
There's a boy, but
eating
Chuck
a rice
Todd's
cake
in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, it sure is. Who's this boy?
It's a great radio show when you talk about what you're watching on television. Right. Francesa did that. I just wonder why Chuck Todd's on there.
Let me see what his involvement is.
All right. Well, while you're looking for that, tired of always waking up exhausted, dad bod starting to weigh on you, finding it harder to get excited about basically anything. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, it might not be that you're just getting older. Good chance your hormones and metabolism are out of balance. So this new year, let's get back to the old you. You remember that guy? Sharp at work, full of energy, fun. The one people enjoyed being around, and that's where mentality comes in. They're not a macho, low-T bro clinic. They're human-centered, and their mission is to figure out what's really going on in your body and your brain. They start by listening, and they'll run real labs and explain your results in plain English, and then build a personalized science-backed plan using hormone therapy and FDA-approved peptide treatments to help get your brain and body back on track. So stop telling yourself and everyone around you that you're fine. Right now, all new patient labs will be covered in your treatment plan, and that's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. Reclaim the old you, the younger you, with mentality. Schedule your appointment now at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com, LOWTUSA.com. Jackson Burkett has information.
From March of 2026 on Variety, Chuck Todd and Jay Adande are launching a podcast devoted to stories of fabled sports franchises. So I guess he's more diving into
like
the sports
George
element.
Washington Colonials.
That was not Chuck Todd that was on that show.
It wasn't?
No. It was a guy who looked like him, but it wasn't him.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's a guy who goes around acting like he's Chuck Todd. That's his business?
I don't know. He looks kind of like him, but it's not who it is.
You should go around as a John Lithgow impersonator.
You think I could get away with it?
Yeah, like do like birthday parties and bar mitzvahs. Like everyone's favorite actor, John Lithgow.
But when a guy does a bar mitzvah, what do you have to do?
I guess go up there and act like John Lithgow for 20 minutes.
Yeah, just put on a show?
Take pictures, talk about some of your famous
now,
works.
Scene 6, Act 2 of Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, you could do like a one-man play. It could be a serious cash cow for you. You could cut ribbons at business openings as longtime character actor John Lithgow.
Hey, wasn't that dude caught kissing another guy? That's from Jackson's butt fro.
Who are we talking
that
about?
doesn't narrow it
Back
down.
to the soccer player? Back to the soccer player?
I don't think so. Incredible hairline on Gerald Piqué.
Oh, really?
Gerard, I should say. From Barcelona.
It's pronounced Barcelona, not Barcelona. That's from Kurt's former coworker.
Great text. Gold star.
Stopped what he was doing to type that.
Did he mean to say like there was a TH, the Barcelona?
Oh. Jose Maria Olazabal.
Yeah, that bothered me.
That reminds me, in 90 minutes, Doug, we'll be able to go live on the range.
I don't care.
At the Masters. Sure, it's a cloudless day in the St. Louis area. Winds are down. Temperatures are wonderful. But Why, friends will gather around the hearth and watch players ball strike on the range at Augusta National today.
Why don't you go ball strike yourself? Go to your own driving range.
I don't have Bryson's trudge.
Yeah, or his shoes. Beautiful day yesterday for Easter. That was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
Just a little.
But it was a nice
the pocket
little
take. You know, pull it out of the pocket, show it off, and throw it right back in.
Didn't know Jay Adonde could fall any lower than teaming up with Chuck Todd. Just go away already. That's him, the overprotective Golden Girl dad. Wow, what a name. Is that new? Jackson, is that a new one?
What's the text name again?
The overprotective Golden Girl dad.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I guess you'd have to be overprotective if your daughter was a golden girl.
Did you enter that, or is that somebody?
I certainly did. I don't remember when, you know.
Reminds me, Doug Wes Edwards, who's involved with the University of Missouri Tiger Club, texted me about an hour ago. Tiger Club lunch 3 weeks from tomorrow. Looking forward to your crew.
Yeah,
we'll be at Llewellyn's and Webster Groves 3 weeks from today.
Sweet.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Hell, I just read the text. Tomorrow. 22 days.
Okay.
Come on out and talk it over with us.
That's the 22nd.
And if you have any questions that require knowledge, I'll text Gabe.
Yeah, we won't know those. I got to write that into my... Oh, it's the 28th, right?
Trash rat.
Okay.
Llewellyn's, Webster Groves, come on out.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Now, what if people want to talk about Missouri football and all you want to do is talk Missouri basketball?
I love talking about Missouri football.
Fight Tiger. It's a tough schedule this year, Doug. Heads up.
Yeah, we'll have to bone up on our info before we go.
Got to go to Lawrence. Got to go to Starkville. Got to host the Gators, host the Aggies. Got to go to Oxford. Got to host Arkansas on Halloween. I think that's what it is. It's literally on Halloween. Got to go to Between the Hedges. Got Boomer Sooner. I feel like I'm leaving another one. Texas coming to town, too.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Texas.
What do you think, 11-1?
Who's going to beat them?
I mean, operating on the premise that they lose by 1 in overtime and 7 2-point conversions.
God.
In Georgia.
That day's coming when the major game is decided by that ridiculous. I mean, we kind of had it a couple of years ago, if you remember. I think it was maybe Ole Miss, Georgia or something like that.
Stupidest. Is it the stupidest rule in sports? Give me one worse. It just hasn't gotten enough attention. I don't know even if college football fans are aware. I'm sure some are, but I'm talking about like a large percentage are aware that this exists.
Emergency goalie.
I was going to say, Doug's going to argue E-Bug.
Runner on second base in extra innings.
That doesn't bother me too much.
I think they should start that in the 12th inning. That's my take. 10th and 11th, do straight
I
out.
don't mind that take.
Yeah. Because that's what the real issue is when you get to like 12, 13, 14 innings. But 10 and 11, I don't think people are bothered by that.
I don't mind that take.
Yeah, start that in 12th.
Has that been discussed elsewhere? Or is this a Jackson Burkett original?
What's original anymore? But but yeah, that's what, because it just gets boring when it's just like, all right, now the first guy up's going to bunt, and then it's, can you get a fly ball on the second batter out on that?
You know, they don't always bunt.
Not always. It depends on who's coming up and who's on second, but more often than not, I feel. Also, Pedro Pajes' whiff rate has really got me in a tizzy.
Yeah,
really?
I have to tell you, I agree with said take.
It's been real rough. He's got a whiff rate, Doug, of 39.5%. That leads the ball club by a considerable margin.
Yeah, that might lead the major leagues.
That's not good.
39.
Jordan Walker, on the other hand, has a 27.8% whiff rate. Big improvement on last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hope that trend continues.
Well, if Crooks continues to light it up in the minors, he might get a chance sooner rather than later.
Yeah, if Pajes can't. But then my boy Pozo get a little bit of work in, please.
Yeah. Okay. But you can't strike out 39% of the times and be a major league.
Well, that's his whiff rate on
long.
pitches. I don't know if he has that many Ks. But it's not good, I can tell you that much.
Craig O'Neill has just sent in his Mount Rushmore of bad rules in sports.
Okay.
Emergency goalie, Doug. He's in lockstep with you.
Mm-hmm.
3-game series in Major League Baseball for the playoffs. It's a nice take. It's a nice take, Craig O'Neill. 2-point conversion in college and the shootout in the NHL.
Oh, I don't mind the shootout. I think the NHL's got it just right. Nothing's more interesting than 3-on-3 hockey. And if that doesn't work, the shootout after that, I think it's fine. I think hockey's got it nailed down.
Do you like the losing team gets a point?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think hockey's got it figured out.
Cal Raleigh striking out 47%, Doug. It's from producer Joe Zascab.
He was the first pick I made in fantasy baseball.
And the Southside Seamen are going up against Doug's team. And Doug was saying in the commercial break he might have the worst fantasy baseball team in the history of the game.
I think so.
Did you lose the clubhouse?
I lost him already, yeah. I'm looking at firing skippers and redoing the outfield. The whole thing's got to go. I picked up Palante. I picked up Palante for today, so maybe.
Yeah, and you had to let go of Dustin May.
Yeah, that was tough. Tough call.
So you're going to be the curse. Now Palante's going to go out and get shelled.
Well,
they're not wearing Navy caps.
Yeah, it won't be because I picked him up today. Yeah, my team is just awful. And with 16 teams in the league, it's hard to find anything on the.
That's a thin waiver wire
list.
Oh, that's where the Southside Seaman lives. We live on the waiver wire. We just hang out there.
This show kind of has...
Who's behind the dumpster? It's the Southside Seaman.
Yeah. This show at some points have had waiver wire vibes. Pick us up, put us somewhere.
Yeah.
See if we can perform.
Usually low-powered AM.
Yeah.
We're DFA'd.
Yeah, but we'll give you... We got a little pop.
Pick up Pajes. His strikeout rate's much lower than Cal's. Doug, why don't you DFA
I'm not
Cal
going
Raleigh?
to. No,
I got
By the way...
Because Southside Seaman do have the number one waiver wire pick.
I realized that Raleigh wasn't going to have the same year he had last year, but if he had half that, he'd still be the best catcher by a considerable margin.
Have the Cardinals got a catcher challenge right yet on the season with the ABS? Batters have gotten it right.
Pajes got one, and it was like they were all giggling that he finally got one.
I saw last night.
Dingler was on a heater last night.
Yeah.
Well,
last night they called one, and it wasn't even close to being a strike. And I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, I do like how Scherzer is so frustrated that he starts banging his helmet.
Yeah, I know. That's if I'm
the hope challenge.
Right. That's with ABS. I feel like that's going to be like some guys just get really frustrated and just start hammering on their helmet on one that's not even close, or like a super strike.
Still on board with the ABS? Hadn't changed?
Majorly.
I can't begin to tell you how much I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It has made my watching of baseball much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because I used to sit there with like a split second, kind of the split second of anxiety you might have if you're watching, for me, college football, I guess, if you're betting on the NFL or you care about a team, when you're like, that's a touchdown. Is there going to be, you're going to see the little flag thing pop up.
Right.
And like the tilt that you get.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have this thing with baseball, like, oh crap, I know they're going to call it a strike. It's not a strike. And it's just, and I feel like it's made the umpires better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, at least more like aware that they like can be held accountable.
Or it helps us appreciate the work they do more, that they really are pretty good. Most of them, not all of them.
Tim, these hot takes got me hammering on my helmet at work. That's from Cucks McGee.
Oh, God, why would you tell us that?
It was kind of
why?
What I also like with ABS is they didn't allow like any time that downtime. Like if you're gonna call it, you have to call it immediately.
Yep.
Like there can't be any hesitation, because that's my least favorite part about basketball is like guys will purposely take forever, and then the guy who's watching on the iPad will be like, no, don't challenge it. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem very right. You should have to replay it immediately. You should have to call it immediately.
Fans live at games love ABS and go insane when they win a challenge. That's from your mom's lesbian lover.
Instant injection of energy in the ballpark if you get it right.
And a victory over the established authority.
Yes.
It's a populist play.
Yeah, it's very much for the proletariat, which I'm obviously going to be on board with.
It's a meat and potatoes, Horton Watkins.
Meat and potatoes, yeah. Every man, Joe Sixpack kind of guy.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's me, man.
Joe Sixpack from Ladue?
All of that.
Well,
the working man's
Timu's Ladue.
Timu Ladue. It's a better flow. I only listen on the radio. I am poor. That's from the Salty Bald Dad from Caseyville.
No TV at all.
So he just has like a old radio sitting in his,
I guess,
in his
transistor
room,
probably.
Imagining what he's seeing at the ballpark. Nothing wrong with that.
We're going to have the winner of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming up at about 10:50, 10:55. And then BK and Ferrario will take over. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Jackson Burkett with you. The program's called The Morning After. It is presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel.
Caw, you hear that, Battlehawks fans? That's the sound of Battlehawks football, which is back at the Dome for 2026. And Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken wants you to be a part of it. That's why their new Battlehawks box will get you count them four, of their famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges, plus a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawk tickets. With this deal, you can get game day ready with a Battlehawks box for just $9.99 at any St. Louis area Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken location. I'll say it again. The Battlehawks box gets you four of their famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges. We love those potato wedges. And you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets, all for just $9.99 at any St. Louis area Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken location. You can get the Battlehawks box in-store or by ordering online on Lee's new mobile app, where you can also earn points for free food and discounts. That's the Battlehawks partnering up with Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. This is Jackson with the Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Blues win last evening, off today, back in action tomorrow when they take on the Avalanche. There's going to be a pregame starting at 6 p.m. and the puck drops at 7. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
What do we got going on here at Papers? We got Miley Mile, but what do we got going on?
Yeah, whatever. It's just Miley Cyrus.
Doug, if Danny Hurley wins tonight, 200th win, UConn, and his third national championship in 4 years, and this would be the most impressive. Maybe his second national championship team, the best team, but this would be the most impressive championship. Papers, as a ball knower, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, if he's able to beat this Michigan team playing how they're playing right now, even if Jackson Lundeberg is a little bit wobbly, doesn't matter. That would be an unbelievable accomplishment. And getting 3 of 4 is, I mean, that's the rarest to verify there.
And they were all but dead against that game against Duke.
Yeah, all but dead against Duke. Underdogs against Illinois. Doesn't matter. Kind of doubted a little bit all year. I think people are quick to doubt them just because of Hurley's personality, but you can dislike him all you want. You can't deny that the guy is a proven winner.
Doug, I know you were not a Bobby Knight fan.
Not really, no.
And we were watching the game, whole family gathered around, got wings from the Hive.
Ooh, yum, yum.
O.B. Clark's / the Hive. Had a feast. And I got some dirty chicken tenders, which I'd like to recommend.
Yeah, OB's
to
does
friends
that too.
and family alike.
Yeah.
And the families gathered around the hearth and watching the game. And then Danny Hurley gets interviewed. My older son says, "Why is everybody booing him?" I said, "Well, he's kind of got a little Bobby Knight thing going on." Would you agree with that? I think Bobby Knight probably more intense. Hurley not to that level, but that would explain why he's getting booed.
I think he's goofier than Bobby Knight.
I would big time
Bobby
agree.
Knight was just angry all the time. And Hurley just seems like he's goofy, almost like he's putting on a show at times.
Yes, would agree. It kind of leans up almost. Like, did you see there was a nice moment when he was being interviewed in the tunnel and the Fab Five passed him? And the love and respect that those guys have for him, it's not like, he was coaching them really. And it's like but the admiration that they have and the mutual respect, it just strikes me as like, he's really intense, and I get why that rubs people the wrong way, but I think those in basketball have so much respect for him and what he's done. So I don't think he's like Knight in the sense from that, where it was like a lot of people were, from what I remember, I was probably too young, there was a lot of detractors even in basketball to Bobby Knight.
Yeah, he was at times violent.
Right.
He choked the kid in practice and threw chairs onto the court. He was totally out of control at times and just mad at the world.
Knight was a complete a-hole. Old school Army guy. Women in the other room. Total man's man, but total a-hole. That's from, is it Bano or Bano?
I don't know which it is.
Doug, do you strive to be described as a man's man?
A good baseball man.
Yeah.
I like that. Who's the man's man of this program?
Probably Martin.
You think so?
The man's man.
I don't think any of us are really man's mans.
No.
I'm a bit dainty, I'll be honest.
We're soy boys.
Martin likes brown liquor, so I think I'd go with him.
Yeah, he does. So if you like brown liquor, you're a man's man?
Well, that's certainly a point in your favor.
Yeah.
Just based on what you drink.
Well, that like when you think man's man, what are some of the, someone you can hang out and have a
Who's
scotch
the
with?
ultimate man's man in 2026, Jackson?
The ultimate man's man. That's a great question right there.
Thank you. It's a shame I'm doing it at 10:53.
The ultimate man's man. Huh. Oh, that's a tough question. Ultimate man's man.
Doug loves himself a man. That's from the golf cart loofah? Are these new names?
Gosh.
Yeah. Golf cart loofah.
Man's man.
The overprotected Golden Girl dad? I mean, they're all over the place here today.
Is Jon Hamm kind of a man's man?
He came to mind for a second.
This is the least man's man sports talk show around. That's from
Probably
Barkley's
so.
Bone.
That I would agree
Probably
with.
so.
That's you're not wrong there. Man's man. That's tough.
Is Trump a man's man?
Good thing we're doing this at 10:54. I'm changing my stance.
Is Troy Aikman a man's man?
Troy Aikman you went with.
I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, it's fine. Pucks on net, baby. Pucks on net.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an actor or singer that would be.
Not man, because like you'd think Billy Bob Thornton, and then you see him like off screen, you're like, oh, never mind.
What does he do off screen?
Well, he's always got like the earrings in, and he's like kind of out there.
When I think of a man's man, Jackson Burkett comes in dead last on the list. That's from Harrison's brother, Master.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
Is Barkley a man's man?
Yeah, I think he likes to have a beverage.
Then
and
I've gotten a chance to sit there and drink with the man for 3 hours.
Loves to gamble.
Still didn't soften the blow of that loss to the Diamondbacks in 2001.
Yeah, or the 2013 Auburn SEC championship.
Well, I just saw
game.
him in the hotel lobby then. Sat and had booze with him.
Did you see him in the SEC championship game too?
That was the SEC championship game.
I thought you also saw him in 01 in Arizona.
I did.
Okay.
That's what I was talking about. That's where I had booze with him.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Now, Tom Brady wouldn't really be a man's man, right?
I don't think so.
He's a little too slick,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that take.
Yeah.
Prim and proper.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Newman.
Yeah, that's a big time man's man.
Wow. Doug, I guess we found the answer.
But he's dead. I'm trying to think of people living.
Not with us.
But Paul Newman, absolutely. Dunking his head in a bowl of ice water to get ready to shoot the next morning.
Michael Jordan, Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah. Cigars constantly.
Yeah.
Playing golf, fishing. Yeah. Certainly a man's man. Michael
Billy
Jordan.
Bob wears women's jeans, Doug.
Oh, he does.
He does.
He wears women's jeans. Why?
That's correct. They say he fits his body better. He's got real thin legs. If you see in Landman, his pants are like almost falling down.
I like him as an actor, though. He's really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Talk about Rich Lerner. That's from Father Brown Eye. What is that?
Who?
Rich Lerner. He's the host on the Golf Channel. What happened?
I don't know. What did he do?
I don't know.
Is he a man's man?
He's got kind of a man's man look.
Jackson,
Okay.
Dave Portnoy.
Okay. I guess. Whoever you like, they could be man's mans.
Joe Rogan, is he a man's man?
Sure, why not?
Okay, now we're just saying it. We're giving the pass
That's
to
a man's
everybody.
man right
But
there.
Brad Pitt. I'm just reading the text now.
Pitt's too Hollywood.
What, getting a lot of Dave Portnoy votes?
Interesting.
Yeah, kind of does what he wants to do, says what he wants to say, whatever.
Yeah.
Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
Rowe. Is it weird that I always get Mike Rowe and Kevin Spacey confused? Do they not look alike?
Yes, it
It's
is,
very
actually.
weird. Yeah.
I don't get that.
You
What's
don't
that
see
about?
they don't think they look alike at all?
No.
No.
They sound alike then. There's something
Mike
where
Rowe's got a great voice. Great voice.
No, he looks like Kevin Spacey.
He doesn't.
A little bit. No, he does.
He
Good
doesn't.
take, Jackson. Thanks, everybody.
You're doing your own dialogue over there. Like Willie Loman, Death of a Salesman, one-man play.
Biff?
Biff was named?
Biff Loman.
Oh. Caleb Williams is a man's man. That's him boozy.
Probably not. Great quarterback. Probably not a man's man. But who am I to judge?
I don't know who you are.
PK and Ferrari are coming up next, but Jackson's going to tell you who won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day here.
Who won it?
Not a large batch, I would say, but this person...
I forgot to vote.
Don't worry, we've reached a quorum.
Okay.
Mongo gets the W.
Mongo
That's who I was
has
gonna
won.
vote for. All right.
The Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Mongo is on the board. Tommy Cibulka and Brian Gregor are on the board. I'm doing business with them, Doug.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's gotten to a point now with the fans, in particular the ladies, when I drive through Huntley, Clayton, Frontenac, Ladue, and St. Louis Hills, that I can't be with my family without stopping to sign or take pictures.
Yeah,
so I need to get my windows
annoying,
tinted.
isn't it?
Thank you. And I'm going to work with VIP Auto Accessories. They take care of everything, a one-stop shop. In some instances, people have to bring their vehicles to 4 or 5 different places when everything can be done in-house at VIP Auto Accessories. That's Tommy Cibulka and Brian Grigg, in business since 1979 with 60-plus employees in Colorado. Is a loyal client. And to me, that's the ultimate endorsement. Commercial upfitting, graphic solutions, hail repair and touch-up, and aftermarket. They do it all at VIP Auto Accessories. For all your commercial vehicle upfit needs, ask for Tommy Cibulka. And for all your aftermarket vehicle accessory needs, ask for Brian Grigg. Tell them that TMA sent you. It's VIP Auto Accessories. ESPN.com. Time for us to shut it down. BK and Ferrario are next. For Jackson Burkett, for Martin Kilcoyne, for the vacationing Chairman Kurt, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios.